Can you hear me? Can you hear me though? Am I clear? Let me bring Blue in. Can you hear Blue? Okay, they said that they can hear. We're gonna try this again. Yeah, peace, love, and light. Peace, love, and light. No, I'm serious. No. I was like, you gotta hear the song, bro. You have to. We did this in 2010. You gotta listen to the lyrics right now, and we gotta see this video. Let me just play this. We're gonna make this thing here work.
Right, get it right. I was getting excited.
I didn't hear. I'm gonna open this up right.
Pull that back. Huh? What's your YouTube page, man? Tell the people.
Yeah.
Got any other links you want to hear it?
Yeah.
All right.
We got the jewelry and the antiquities and the rare art.
All right.
Got oil canvas, paints, everything.
What does it represent? What you create represent? If you could say it in like one word.
What I create.
Everything. Well, everything. Your culmination of your work. You know what I'm saying? Well, if you could sum it up in one word, what is it?
We did this 10 years ago, y'all.
When monkey don't stop no show, cause no third dimensional being can stop my flow. I'm multi-dimensional. My style is quantum physical. My lyrical manifests as rhymes. Let it be known, my tone is the new paradigm. To channel my power, put my CD on your shrine. To repeat my name at least 9 times. I avoid bullshit like Moses avoid swine. I'm the ace of spades and king of diamonds combined. This for your astrology oracles that know the true time. Supreme divine, changing water to wine. I'm on some other shit, like Return of the Mothership, Nibiru. Mere mortals, I'll never fear you. I can't even hear you. Your frequency is too low. You couldn't feel me if I was near you. You're vibrating too slow. I study you whack fat cats like I study plots in a movie. You actor rappers just don't move me. Got my peoples fucked up, worse than clowns like Gucci. Rick Ross and Jeezy. Shit is so sleazy, it's cheesy. Hold up, it's my ears deceive me. I heard somebody say the best rapper was Weezy. Please, G, none of your C's can see me. Never. I keep battling forces of invisibility. I won't rhyme. A lyrical deity, the manifestation of that dark matter energy. A high priest of Tahuti, the message of Mercury. A warrior of Mars, my words that cause mental scars. Now communicate my tongue, obliterate wars. Fucking man-made laws, I awaken souls on tours. Ethereum, Syrian, Atlantic, in my more. Royal immortal, one of the magi of the serpent order. Voice of the source, this sheep flowing water. My presence felt like the symbol of the woo. An ancient superhero, the black Doctor Who. Looking down on you from on top of a pyramid view. So pay respect when the gods walk through. What you wanna do? I drive it with the tattoo.
I'm a rock.
Who's that? It's all about race with these black gods. It's all about racing with these black cars. They wouldn't put my face on these black cards. They wouldn't put a lake in my backyard. They wouldn't leave this diplomatic status in the conscious communities, which would only mean we will kill you with impunity. Which would only mean we will kill you for the mutiny. Which would only mean we can kill you for your coonery. I appear tall because I'm standing on the shoulders of the giants, holders of the science. When I heat up in the course, I'm colder than Brian. My soul is old, move the kingdom balance in the codes of compliance with the codes of defiance. Went from 85er lifestyle, walking lard, bloods in the crib, we was walking the yard. Not a red pill crib walking with gods. You are now talking to God. Devils in a red dresses talking to God. In my charts, I got New York in my cards. Planets in Atlantis and Brooklyn overlooking Central Brookings. The instrumentals got my mentals cooking. So go water, the potions is morphine. Ocean 14, every push empire, no the ledge blowing bread. And ever since the merger, we've been living like the Prince of Persia. The palace like Fusilian of Vegas. Let's not forget that Alice Heights. See this is on my arm. Let's not forget that Alice Heights. Run away from parasites. Run away from poverty's paradise. dictate, sometimes chemical. Sitting at a bus stop, waiting until 11:11 is a portal. I'm at the helm of comets inside of space. Feel that I'm out of place. What I speak in common as I vanish without a trace. And go within myself. That's where answers to questions lie. Keep it on fluorescent as I strengthen my inner eye. Feeding my violet flames, aligning my vortices. Hip hop was original. All I see now is forgery. Back in ancient Kemet, they studied the mystic arts. The main lesson taught was operate from the heart. Imagine a sacred kingdom of elders that came before to pass it on to those. Cause the masses of omnivores, they eating up anything. Time for a fast, yo. My hands are full, my feet is a brass. The crystals it resonates, cause life it everlasts. It's multidimensional, and with that I conclude the class. Thesis, scribe of all laws, see that's the secret. They call it 3 states that take 7 lifetimes to reach it. In this space of time, I write rhymes, they try to preach it. The example, apple, essence, what's needed. Y'all just believe it, but see me without receiving it. Translated like telekinesis. I'm at my freest at my office. Just like 11 galactic centers, the way I'm offset. I like to spiral like a straw set. We never raps and did it like alpha raw prints. It's been a while since you really got what you was looking for. Like Moore's, you smart Florida, the Georgia corridors. The orators spewing spores of your door. Homegrown scrolls on twisted doors. Soon hitting shores like shipwrecks. Extending the legacies of the toll tax. Much respects to the prop getters, not the propagandists. But it understands and overstand it how to transmit. Plus a major line of defense against any threats to the planet. And land trend going green as the heart. The vast labyrinth. Changes shape, shift to being precious metals like a blacksmith. Outline loose lines, blast and burn like acid. This is classic like Cairo scrolls of the ancient. Good as gold for back and bacon. I roll with guys, that's what I'm thinking. Being based serious, but y'all can call me Franklin. Yeah. Life in the tissue is always sacrificial. Noise blasting missiles. They opening portals and recalling autos, shifting things. Probably about to introduce grips with wings. How else they gonna outrun Popo if this piloted autos? Flying whips and spaceships. Straight out the pages of Philip K. Dick's. Fuck the Terror Dome. Welcome to the Matrix. Alkalis will die. Shit's falling out the sky. Man, these crackers is terrified, paralyzed, fearing the unknown. Hearing them trunks blow. Before defeat, they retreat across the river Styx. They got you blind all the time about the truth of the triple 6. Man, it's carved in. The first shall be last on the somber land. 6 neutrons, 6 electrons plus 6 protons equals a cosmic mortal. Emerging out of cosmic portal according to the Gorgon. Transformed like Ultron. Due to a rise in the line, I kept my eyes on the prize like Lionel. Shit, sight me on sight like Obadiah. I can see Zion well from the mountaintop. Yeah, abundant land, a boundless slot. Expose these liars like roaches. Light beyond light, holy fire, my offer. Get baptized in the raptures of holy waters. Riding on chariots into this age of Aquarius. Stars to the belts made out of photons like Orion's tails. We stuck in something serious, B. By far, the pictures I paint been tri-star, so I excel. Observe me in all of my splendor. High as hell. Blue pills. That's how we do. Royal Immortals, my East Coast. Super hate rules. You know how we do. Y'all think this is a motherfucking game? We ain't playing it. They slap their wings on this one. Trust sound, trust studios. That's how we go. ATL. Michigan.
Ha ha ha. Bleh, 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 bleh. Do. I'm just saying. I was, yeah, that was Blue pill with the mohawk. Blue pill. Blue pill with the mohawk. I'm just saying. That's why when I tell niggas that I'm living my bars, when I say that I'm living out my lyrics, I'm not just saying that shit.
When I tell motherfuckers that my shit be prophecy, there's no hyperbole involved. You can go, I got 10-year archive, right? Mirrors and doors, right?
No, that's what That's what
windows and floors. You feel me? Go back to the archive and look. You know, I hit them Trump verses. You hit the Kobe Bryant shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, blowing the trumpet. Yeah, that was right. That was right. We're gonna close out with that. And the reason why we had to play that song as an intro is a few reasons. One of the main reasons is because our guest tonight, AT the Arch Degree, had one of his stellar best verses on that track, and you know, that is our guest tonight, and we're gonna be going back in time with KT tonight. You know, this is Know the Ledge KTL Radio 2020. These special episodes that you see me and Blue Pill, the twin pillars, come together, and what we're doing is celebrating our 10-year clip. You know, our 10-year contribution to new media, our 10-year contribution to galactical and global consciousness. Hold on. Yeah. You got your link, right? Email. Love it, dream. Yeah. Mm-hmm. A while ago. Because Blue got it. I sent it to both of you. I'll send it again. Don't worry. All right. Yeah, so the 10-year clip is very important because, you know, you have to be able to prove, you know, what it is. Not proven as if you have something to prove, but content is king. And being able to go all the way back in time to take people in a time machine who might not have they might not have been awake in 2010. They might not have been, you know, quote unquote consciousness in 2010. So it's very imperative that, you know, we take the family back in this time machine and show them the seedlings or the seeding of a culture that they could basically look around the world, not just in New York, not locally, no, globally, not even globally. I'm saying that this is a galactic movement. I promise you. One of them flying saucers is gonna land one day playing the pillars. You know, this is a galactic movement.
Yeah, I already I done had my transmissions and my contacts. So I'm telling you, they fuck with the pillars intergalactically.
That's
fuck
the
with
fact.
the word. Fuck what they saying. I'm saying this. You know what I'm saying?
That's the super
So
fact.
yeah, it's a 10-year window. When I had my encounter, it was 10 years ago, June 25th, 2010. So this 10-year window is extraordinary. You know, we started our music 10 years ago. We started Know the Ledge 10 years ago. I started CMOS 10 years ago. You know what I'm saying? So it's a 10-year window as seen in the fucking Super Bowl. Like, told you niggas it's gonna be a 10-year window. What was the score at halftime? Was it not 10-10? Was they not down 10 points? I mean, they came back and they beat them by 11. You know, it's 10-year windows, man. It's windows and doors. You know what I'm saying? To on some Sankofa shit, so you could look back, so you could propel into the future. You know? So we in 2020 now having a 2030 conversation. Dig what I'm saying? And it's an honor to be sharing the platform with my brothers, with my bros, you know what I mean? And to be in front of you people tonight, transmitting, you know, these are some monumental days, man. I wouldn't trade them for the world. Very transformational, very action-packed, you know what I mean? And hold on to your seats because the shit be like, zoop, zoop. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, no,
if you blink, huh?
Here's a roller coaster.
Yeah, if you blink, you could be upside down. Like the shit is, and we told you at the beginning of the year, hold on to your shit. We told you last year, don't buy into this impeachment. Don't buy into the political wave this year. Don't get on that roller coaster. You're gonna end up throwing up on yourself. You feel me? And then the roller coaster is gonna spin you where you throw up and the shit hits you all in your face. Don't do it. Find you something else to put your energy into. You've given them all of your energy for all of your life, and you have got no returns on it whatsoever. You are not in control of that political landscape, right? The only way that you can maximize and change things on the grid, I mean, you know, you could become a 44 resonator, but you're gonna have to, you know what I'm saying? You gotta catch up. But if you don't got that going for you, goddamn it, then you have to do some things internally first, right? So you can start steering your outer environment by spiraling your inner world first and foremost. You got to start that inner spin. You know, everybody drinks sea moss. Goddamn, you talking about Kim Kardashian drinks sea moss in her smoothies. Everybody motherfucking drinks sea moss right now, right? Yeah, Trump got the GTA Invincible. Yo, son, you know, I said that the Queens flip niggas, right? They making that couch comfortable for all of the degenerates that, you know, turned New York City upside down with the coke, right?
Mm-hmm.
Trump has out Gotti in the Teflon department. Them niggas need to make their couch available for the true Queens OG. You dig what I'm saying? Because son is out here out Teflon in the Teflon Dawn, son.
I mean, well, he's giving you a glimpse of
you seen that video in China when they was dumping the chiclets into the
in a machine, like in a processor.
Nah, it was an open hole. It was a gaping hole in the earth. And they had the first clip was showing the pigs.
Oh no, I didn't see that.
Where they had thousands of pigs and they were just dumping them.
Nah,
somebody in some country is sending up 1,000 animals a day.
That's crazy.
Right? This nigga's black magic is crazy.
Let me go ahead and bring KT in the building real quick. All right.
Yes.
All right. Without any further ado, we welcome to the stage our brother, your brother, KT, the Arch Degree. Here he goes.
Oh, peace.
Peace,
love, and twin pillars.
Yes, indeed. Peace to God.
What's the deal to the family?
Yes.
Peace, my brother.
Peace, my brother.
My brother. Did you see the viral video, my brother, today going around of, it was in China. They had like 1,000 pigs on the back of these trucks, and then they was dumping them into a gaping hole in the earth, and then they had these chiclets, and they was dumping them as well.
In China?
Yes.
Oh yeah, they wild over there. Everything's going on over in China right now, bro. Dumping animals in a gaping hole in the earth. Like it was like 300 gaping hole, like Sparta.
Yes.
They were dropping them in the Sparta now. I ain't seen the Sparta.
A Sparta hole or a sinkhole?
Huh? It was like a landfill.
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay, like a dump. Okay.
Yeah, but these animals,
home. I'm like, what they got over there?
Look,
always the technical.
We're gonna do a quick China update. You know, it's been a hell of a week in world politics.
Oh my goodness!
In the theater of 2020 is what I would like to call it. And from my observation, after the demonstration that I saw on the World Theater at the State of the Union last night, I was able to pick up on the arrogance of a wartime president who him and his colleagues know that they basically won one of the battles that previously they were very nervous about. And it seems to me that China has been somewhat checkmated in what is known as the trade war.
Neutralized, yes.
I was in the wholesale district today having a conversation with Egyptian. These are merchants that, basically their businesses, they've come into America. They're Asians, they're Indians, and they're Egyptians and Arabs and Israelis. And they've opened up pipelines of import-export because they come from Pakistan with a manufacturing of goods, apparel, from the smallest price point to the highest price point. And this is a consumer country, America, consumer country, China, production country. So in the scheme of things, we could use it in street terms. China plug America, customer, right?
Mm-hmm.
So the plug is seen as the one who makes he has the power. The plug is the one who makes the prices. He can adjust prices. The hustlers on the ground, they can manipulate prices with the plug by doing certain things where the plug lives or where the plug is getting his work from. And the thing that Donald Trump promised Rust Belt America and other places where, you know, the appeal to the poor white man started during what is known as the colonial period or the colonial era in Charlestown and places like that, to be exact, South Carolina, because in the Chesapeake area of Virginia, they already had an economy inside of slavery. But when they came into Charlestown, into Warsaw, Warsack, where Andrew Jackson, the president, came from, you know, these rural places like West Virginia and the places that are coastal and the places that are mountainous and whatnot, the appeal that made these presidents like Andrew Jackson, what they call the Jacksonian Democrats, what made them get into power. First, they were wartime generals, and during that time, wartime generals were responsible for the expansion of the colonies, pushing into Indian land, which will be considered to be pushing into territories that you could settle, right? Because they wanted to settle into certain lands, and they definitely wanted to control fertile land where they could build more plantations. Because the economic engine of America, or the college, is not even America. And we're gonna have a show tomorrow with Tariq Bey, the master teacher, during Third Eye Thursday, so he could talk to us about stop calling these Europeans Americans, because there's such a thing called word magic, and we're giving them a power that they have not earned, or they don't. You know, it's almost that's a de facto identification. These are Europeans, and they're not just Europeans. You have to break them down by tribes and religions and stuff like that. But they basically were able to take over certain lands. Once they began to push west, this is what you get in the American-Mexican War, where they always had their eyes on California, and they always had their eyes on expanding into the west. And then they were looking into Canada. They always wanted to get into Canada to expand the territory of the colonies. You dig what I'm saying? So they were appealed to. The poor working white man was appealed to by these wartime generals who were saying that I'm going to galvanize this base by bringing you riches. I'm going to be able to give you what you didn't have. And that was these people's property. That was these people's resources. These peoples were the Indians. These were the natives of the land, especially once they found out that there was gold in the mountains of California. Oh, they went gun-ho crazy, and that's what the 49ers represent. They went in California, and they went on a murder spree. They went into the North Georgia mountains when Andrew Jackson discovered that there was gold in the land, because you got to remember, the majority of these people, if they didn't get their income from the slaves, they were still traders. So the slaves were able to make them their income. They didn't, they were able to generate money from them. But other than that, they were still trading with England and other places. They did not have an economic stance. And anywhere that they could get their hands on gold, the Spaniards was taking the gold out of America and things of that nature. So anywhere that they would go, that would increase their lifespan, that would increase their colony, that would increase their sustenance. So they murdered in cold blood up and down these shores, and these presidents rose up these poor whites. Now, fast forward to today, a man who has Andrew Jackson's portrait in the White House and said that he's a Jacksonian Republican, he's galvanizing the same exact base to rise up. They marched on Richmond, and then they marched on Kentucky. That all means something. Kentucky is where the gold is at. Kentucky is Mitch McConnell's home base. You understand? Who's the majority speaker of the House? The march was what? The march was a solidarity march to let the world know that you niggas better. That was a pressure march. That's the same marches that they were doing before the Civil War began, because they were blowing, it wasn't a dog whistle. They blew a trumpet and let the government know that there will be an insurrection. They went to Virginia where the quote unquote Civil War started. And the governor, whose name is Northam, that's the same governor who was busted in blackface. Thing exactly about a year ago, because the Gucci thing broke a year ago, almost to this time.
Yes.
So Northam is the Virginia governor who's in blackface, who is in a medical school in blackface. So you know that he's a wicked cracker because he put that racism into the medical field, and that was a military medical college. So Northam, they march on Richmond. Richmond is the home of the Civil War. That's the capital of the Confederacy. They go guns. I'm talking about. I got all of the footage. It was a small militia. It was not a small militia.
Army.
It was an army. It was a standing army, and all they were saying is, if you impeach Trump, the war will begin. We will turn up. So today, when we see that he's acquitted, and last night when we see the speech, I'm saying to myself, they neutralized China in the trade war. I will not be surprised if something comes about to say that was a chemical, biological attack in Wuhan that they're trying to cover up, and they're calling it bat soup, coronavirus or something. There's a quiet war going on, and keep in mind,
the CIA
was in Hong Kong.
In Hong Kong, right? Exasperating. Anytime that you see them exasperating democracy or bringing democracy to a country, they are looking to destabilize that country's political, infrastructure. You heard how hard he was going against socialism last night. Socialism and communism are both things that are a threat to their capitalism. So they have boots on ground. You know what I'm saying? Exasperating in Hong Kong. They did it in Iran, right? They did it in Syria before that joint jumped off. They did it in Venice. They're doing it in Venezuela. You know what I'm saying? Everywhere where they go and promote democratic uprisings against the government, they are planning soft coups. And this particular one was exasperated by them releasing a biological chemical which resulted in the quarantine of an entire country, because my Chinese plugs, right? We're communicating with them and they're saying that, look, the whole country's on lockdown, right? They quarantine all of them in the crib for 14 days. They can't move around. They have one representative in the household that could come out and go to market, right? They're utilizing drones to patrol the streets. The social credit system is in full effect. So they're you know what I mean? They're making sure it's just, it's full flung. Now, we're not even speaking about the fact, because I've heard conflicting accounts about the death rate. They're saying that elderly people are the majority ones that are dying because of compromised immune systems, and more so the young people are able to thwart it. You know what I'm saying? But the hysteria that it is causing and the damage to to their business, to their trade, right? They come out of their new year in a few days and they're supposed to get back into trade. You know what I'm saying? That's not going to happen, because they're saying that they won't allow the merchant ships
To leave.
that are bringing goods here. Those people can't dock unless they are of military medical pedigree. Can they actually come into the interior of said countries? So these boats would have to dock out in sea to you know what I'm saying, to unload their cargo. That's not gonna happen. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna get critical in a second, and we're talking in terms of trade and commerce, and the fact that so many entrepreneurs here are reliant upon, myself included, you know what I'm saying, certain things that are coming from the continent of you know what I mean, from mainland China, should I say.
All right, emergency. KT, do you have anything to say? I don't want to.
I was trying to put something up on the screen. I was trying to share the screen, but do you feel like you gotta allow it through?
Yeah, you see it right there at the bottom where it says share screen.
Yeah. I did all that. Hold on. Let me do it again. Hold on. Yeah, so I got it shared. It's at the bottom of the screen now. Yeah, okay, there we go. So yeah, there's a patent for the coronavirus. And there's more than one. You know what I'm saying? This right here is the Pirbright Institute. You know, y'all can look them up. They're actually based in the UK. I didn't go too deep to see what was behind the UK, you know, but this is a patent right here. In addition to that, we got to remember that this is the year of the metal rat. And the reason why it's metal is because with the Chinese astrology, when you get to Earth is not its own aspect. It actually has elements within inside it. So they actually utilize the element of metal. Yes. And the health forecast says vulnerable to sicknesses like colds and fatigue. At the first sign of symptoms, head to your general practitioner immediately. Eat more proteins and vegetables. So this is like the energy just of the year. It starts off talking about, oh yeah, you want to be vulnerable to sickness, you know?
Right. And it's going into a 4 years, 2020, and we know that 4 in Chinese culture is an ominous number because the character of 4 is resembling the character of death. So the number 4 in their culture is an ominous, you know what I'm saying? It's an ominous sign. And even if you go to the I Ching 44 hexagram, second line, it speaks specifically about outbreaks, you know what I'm saying? And the fact that they have to quarantine and not use strong force, but subtle force, meaning vaccines and things of that nature.
I want to talk about what's happening in the body, you know, because everybody's looking at it just in terms of mask and people coughing and sneezing, but they don't know what's happening. And like, okay, how does a fever and a flu end up turning into death? You know, what's going on here? So what we got to understand is what the coronavirus is doing. Well, before I even get into that, let me just show this real quick. So coronaviruses are a large group of viruses that can cause illnesses as minor as a cold or as serious as Middle East respiratory system syndrome or severe acute respiratory syndrome. So that's MERS and SARS. MERS was back in 2012. SARS was back in like 2004. So according to the World Health Organization, they often presented with pneumonia-like symptoms. So we're talking about pneumonia. Now, if you're talking about pneumonia, you're talking about infecting the lungs, you know? So of course, with infecting the lungs, you're going to have coughing, you're going to have mucus, you're going to have problems breathing, all right? But what makes coronavirus different from other viruses? You know, what makes this one stand out, so to speak? What is leading to you having problems with your lungs and your respiratory system? Well, when you get into something called ROS, and I find it interesting that this is the ROS system that is affecting because it's the coronavirus, and corona deals with the sun. They call it that because under the microscope, these glycoproteins that they call spikes, these are the yellow projectiles coming out of the envelope. They, under the microscope, looks like the sun and its rays. So they call it coronavirus. Well, the name of the system that it's affecting is called the ROS system, like Ra or the cell. So renin, angiotensin, aldosterone system is the system that deals with managing the body's blood pressure, as well as certain stress levels. And what it starts with is the kidney and the liver producing something called angiotensinogen. Anytime you hear OGEN at the end, it means that something is not active yet. Whenever you see it end in a gene, it's not active yet. Just like trypsinogen, right? Which your digestive system becomes trypsin once it's activated. So angiotensinogen becomes angiotensin 1 when the kidney releases something called renin to cut off a certain piece to make it active. Okay, so somebody might be about to drink a little sparkling ginger ale joint, so you have to pop the metal top off the bottle so you can drink the drink. Well, the angiotensinogen has a cap on it, and renin is like a bottle opener that's going to pop the top, which allows angiotensin 1 in order for that to be produced. Now, once that's produced, now you have something called ACE that comes into play. You've heard the term ACE before with ACE inhibitors. A lot of y'all listening right now, either you or somebody in your family uses ACE inhibitors. And ACE stands for angiotensin converting enzyme. So it's the thing that just got made, bottle cap got popped and soda came out, right? Now it wants to convert that into something else, and it's done through another enzyme, and the enzyme is called ACE, angiotensin converting enzyme. What is it doing? It's an enzyme that's converting something. What is it converting? It's converting angiotensin 1 to angiotensin 2. Now, what most people might not know is that there's more than one ACE. There's not just ACE, there's ACE2. And why is ACE2 important? Well, ACE2 is there to regulate ACE1. Everything in our body has a check and a balance. So if you look at this diagram I got up on the screen right now, when ACE2 comes into play, angiotensin 2, which just got produced by regular ACE, right, can now be converted into angiotensin 1 through 7. These mechanisms inhibit obesity, diabetes, myocardial infarction, hypertension, so forth and so on. All right. But when there's no ACE2, then what you have is these mechanisms taking place. So when you look at the blue lines are showing what gets inhibited. So heart failure gets inhibited. Obesity gets inhibited. The rise of inflammation, the rise of certain pathways that lead to inflammation, reactive oxygen species, while angiotensin 2 actually can lead to all these things. So it's a mechanism that you make that is only supposed to be a lot active for a certain amount of time, and then it's supposed to be converted in something else so that inflammation doesn't last a long period of time. So you got angiotensin 2. So what happens is angiotensin 2 is upregulated by ACE and drives severe lung failure through the AT1A receptor. On the other hand, ACE2 and the AT2 receptor protects against the lung injury. Okay, so why is this important? This is important because, why am I hitting that? Infections with coronavirus result in ACE2 downregulation through the binding of the SARS coronavirus spike protein. The spike, the yellow projectile right there, is bonding with the ACE2 molecule. And in it bonding with it, the ACE2 is what is allowing the virus to get inside the cell, because this is what we got to understand. It's just like, think of viruses like the weather, like the weather outside. If it's 10 below, if it's raining, if it's a storm, guess what? You can protect yourself being in your home because you got a window, you got a door, you got a roof. Those are protecting you from the elements. But the minute you open up the door and walk outside, now you're subjected to those elementals. So all of these outbreaks and issues and problems with viruses only deal with the fact that the virus is getting inside your cell. There's no such thing as killing a virus. We are in 2020 now. We have to have a change in the paradigm. We have to change our thinking. People want to ask, oh man, how do you kill a virus? How do you do that? No, you don't kill a virus. Kill denotes something is alive. I'm going to say that again. Killing something denotes that it's alive. Viruses are not alive, nor are they dead because it's not in that context. You wouldn't say a piece of quartz crystal can be killed, right? Okay, so a virus is a crystalline structure and only is able to recreate based upon the living organisms of bacteria and cells that you call a host. So the only way you're going to have symptoms is if the virus breaches your firmament and gets inside of you. So you have to figure out how to prevent this mechanism with this envelope and these spikes from attaching to your membranes in your cells so it can get inside. Why does it get inside? Because just like a male would do a woman, it wants to ejaculate its DNA contents inside of the bacteria so that the bacteria can utilize its equipment like a woman would in their womb to put the pieces together to create more viruses. And once that takes place, the viruses ruptures the cell, bacteria, whatever, and it floods through the system, hiding in plain sight. So what happens with the coronavirus is the virus is bonding with your ACE2 molecule that you naturally produce, that you use to keep ACE in check so you don't go through a chronic inflammatory response. Where is ACE made? Let me go back to the diagram. Where's ACE made? It's made in the lungs. Look, right there, in the lungs. So that's why you're going to have pneumonia symptoms in regards to this. So it bonds with the coronavirus and the ACE, and that's what allows it back in the cell. And by it binding, it down regulates, meaning that it reduces it. You know, they say low sperm count. Well, now you got a low ACE2 count because the ACE2 being used by the coronavirus, and you can't regulate the constant putrefaction that takes place just in breathing because they ain't nothing but viral bodies, fungi, poisons, and all types of stuff floating around in the atmosphere. You constantly inhale, but you exhale it, and you have a certain apparatus in order to rid your body of it. Okay, so that's what's going on right now with these people in their respiratory systems, and this stuff can lead to heart attacks and everything because the lungs is right by the heart. All of that stuff is related. All right, so that's what we're talking about right now. We also got to understand that the Institute of Virology is right over there by the fish market in Wuhan. I'm gonna say that again. The Wuhan Institute of Virology ain't far from the fish market, bro. Okay, so the Institute of Virology in Beijing had a leak already back in 2004 that they was able to clean up. So they got a history with leakage. So now we got the Wuhan Institute of Virology. Who's to say? Who's to say? You know what I mean? So I know the next question people are going to have immediately is, what do I do? How do I help myself? Da, 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 da. Oh, yeah, we got to keep this in mind, too. This is a big one, and I've been talking about this one forever. Hold on. Boom. All right. Risk to health and well-being from radio frequency radiation emitted by cell phones and other wireless devices. You know good and damn well China is leading with 5G. Sonic the Hedgehog is all throughout there with the blue light 5G beam. Now, what ends up happening when you go inside this article I just pulled up and we go down to where you see the number 74, in vivo, remember in vitro means petri dish outside the body study, in vivo means in the tissue in live study. In vivo studies reporting resonance with human sweat ducts, acceleration of what? Bacterial and viral replication. So why is it happening in the city? Because when you deal with 5G, 5G is very powerful with short wavelengths. That's why they got repeaters that have to get the signal to go over far distances because it doesn't do that naturally. So the issue with 5G, the way that you really get that thing to affect people is population density, because everybody has a bidirectional microwave device. And if you're using 5G and there's one person, that's one energy. 2 people, that's another energy. 15 people, that's another energy. 1,000 people, think about how powerful of a power density that would equate at that point. You see what I'm saying? So if you got that type of power density of 5G, and the studies show that the 5G accelerates bacterial and viral replication, then how do you go from 1,000 people infected to 2,000 to 10,000, 20,000? How does that happen? Because it's being replicated by the radio wave. Remember, the only way things move the speed of light is the speed of light, bro. That's how that works. You know what I'm saying? Also mentioned that Wuhan is leading in the psychedelic arena. You know what I'm saying? They're the ones, like we know about the decriminalization in Denver, Oakland. Guess who just got decriminalized, bro? Out of all places, none other than Santa Cruz, California, where they did us. Santa Cruz just decriminalized psilocybin. Oregon is next. M2 Bio is leading in regards to establishing study and research on psilocybin mushrooms because they understand the psychedelic effects and they understand the medicinal effects. What is the main medicinal effect that mushrooms offer? Oh, they're antiviral. Why are they antiviral? Because you deal with the mycelium threads. We talked about this briefly last week. The mycelium threads grow just like your nervous system grows in the ground. Plants would not be able to exist if it wasn't for the mycelium because mushrooms were the first one on the land, not plants. Mushrooms predate hundreds of millions of years before plants comes around. And their mycelium network is the perfect medium between the soil and the microbes and the plants getting everything that they need. So if the mycelium has the technology and the genetics to be able to do what it's doing, imagine what it's going to do inside of the human body because we share DNA more with the fungi than we do with the actual plant. Actually, fungus are closer to animals. They inhale oxygen, they exhale carbon dioxide. You know what I'm saying? And they're vitamin D factories. So people might say, oh, don't eat mushrooms, they don't grow in the sun and all that type of shit. Like, no. Mushrooms represent like a melanated body. What does a melanated body do when it sits outside too long? It absorbs the UV and turns it into vitamin D. That's exactly what mushrooms do inside the sunlight and increases it by like 400% or something like that. It's crazy. So they're like little vitamin D factories, which is your solar molecules. So Wuhan is invested in all of this. You know what I mean? They're trying to move forward with psychedelics, with making it legal so you can pop mushrooms and escape the prison, you know what I'm saying? And be able to properly create, you know, and heal and health and have an open mind. But that got shut down, you know? Psilocybin is very important because it's made from the serotonin molecule. The chemical structures of psilocybin and psilocin, that's what you're looking at right now. What do you notice? Y'all tell me, when you look at these two molecules right here on the screen, what's different between them? What do you see? There's one main difference. What y'all see?
One is missing a cross.
All right. What does the cross say though?
On my screen,
what letters you see?
I see O's and H's, oxygens and hydrogens.
But what's at the center? Your name start with it.
P. Oh, is it a P?
That's right. So P is for phosphorus because this is a phosphate group. P stands for phosphorus, O's oxygen, H's hydrogen. In order to stabilize phosphorus, it's combined with oxygen molecules to make something called phosphate. Phosphate is a molecular representation of light being transferred, but still staying in light form. You hear about phosphorescence all the time. You know, phosphor actually creates light, Lucifer, and that whole thing about it glowing. It's all dealing with phosphorus. So what you're looking at right here is the fact that when you find psilocybin mushrooms, the psilocybin mushroom has a phosphate group on it, psilocybin. What your body does is it cleaves that phosphate group off. You see how on the next one it just says OH? Mm-hmm. That's a hydroxyl group. So the phosphate gets taken off, the hydroxyl group gets left. Now the psilocin is active. Now the ginger ale bottle, you pop that cap, and now it's activated. So you see that light is involved in the process. So this is why you have a luminous experience when you take those mushrooms, because we're light bodies and we're able to transcend all of these issues we got because we can deal with our problems through light. How do we do that? We create a hologram. We create an augmented reality that plays out our emotions and our psychology, and we go through them and we overcome them. We become triumphant, and in that, the disease, the issue, the problem, the mental issue, it's relieved, it's taken care of, it's neutralized. Evaporate. You see, it actually deals with the temporal areas of your brain. What's temporal? Temporal means time. So People want to talk about time travel. People want to talk about all these powers and this is how you do it. You do it through these particular alkaloid molecules. Sadie always talked about carbon. You're looking at a carbon molecule right now. Okay, you see a hexagon, you see a pentagon. You talking 6-pointed star, 5-pointed star. We see that all the time in all of our texts that we study. This is what they're talking about right here. When you see the lines inside of the hexagon and the pentagon, those are double bonds. Those double bonds create a resonance field for the carbon. So now the carbon turns into this generator of power. All right. And then you got a nitrogen in there, you got the OH, and then you got the little crooked line coming from it. Those are more carbons making a little chain. And this is a key that unlocks parts of your brain. It attaches to your temporal area. It attaches to your amygdala, your hippocampus. It attaches to all these powerful areas of your brain so that you're able to do what? Overcome. Overcome. You know, we fall faint based on certain things. You know what I mean? Talked about in Dune. We brought that up last week. This is the reason why their eyes were blue in the movie Dune, because of the bluing of the psilocybin mushrooms. Because that whole movie Dune is about mushrooms. That's another conversation. I ain't gonna go into that right now. But to get back to my point, how do we fix all of this? We fix all of this with something real simple called enveloped virus neutralizing compounds, or EVNCSs, okay, or NVCs, I'm sorry. These are mechanisms derived from plants and natural sources that either have lipid binding, sugar binding, disrupting, or fusion inhibition effects, okay? And what it does is it stops this spike protein from attaching to the antenna that's sticking on outside of the membrane of your cell, so the virus doesn't get in your cell and affect you any longer. And I found a lot of those particular compounds. You know, one of the compounds are called psychosaponins. You know, they're found in the root of certain plants. I even found one from the red spider lily called lycorine, which is powerful. You know, I actually did a presentation on my Patreon, full presentation, the whole thing. And the next day, matter of fact, I could put it up right now because I did a screenshot. The next day, this is what CNN dropped. Article: a traditional Chinese remedy said to help fight Wuhan coronavirus sparks skepticism and panic buying. But in the article, they talk about how this is just in the title, because this ain't how they reflect. They don't really reflect the title in the article. In the article, they like, yo, yeah, there's skepticism and there's panic buying, but they really can't be skeptical because the people who putting this information out are the same people that the government is getting all of their Wuhan virus statistics, information, and study from. So we all know that they with Chinese medicine over there. So I was like, yo, where the Chinese medicine cats at? After I do my presentation, next day this article dropped. I look at the product that they're producing to everybody, that they're telling everybody about, and look at the ingredients, and the ingredients got the same herbs that I did in the presentation.
What is your Patreon? Is it KT the Arts Degree?
Yeah, it's KT the Arts Degree, Instagram, as well as the website, just .net, not .com. But
what's your
yeah,
cash
man.
app?
Like,
asking about your Cash App.
Oh yeah, Cash App is I gotta keep looking at it. It's commodity. I'm gonna have you could put it up in the thing, right, Red?
Yeah.
It's yeah.
KT?
Nah, commodity. $, KAMANI, capital T.
I got you, brother.
All right, bet. But listen, the reason why I'm saying all of this is so that y'all understand that they're gonna always put fear out, because what fear is gonna do is it's gonna activate this same system that I was telling y'all about before, this RAS system, because what's sitting on top of the kidneys, the adrenal glands. You see what I'm saying? You're gonna what's getting affected in the brain when the angiotensin go crazy. So what I didn't mention about the angiotensin 2, when ACE2 is not there to regulate and manage, you know, how many numbers it is it causes vasoconstriction. When you say vaso, that deals with vessels, blood vessels. When you say constriction, that means the tightening or the closing of the space. So if you close the space of a tube, just like you do when you bend a straw or you bend a hose, you're going to end up stopping the flow of the water, building up pressure. And when you release it, it's going to shoot everywhere. So when you're dealing with these particular methods taking place inside of your body, then what's going to happen is you're going to start secreting fight or flight, adrenaline and everything like that. So that's fear. That's what fear is all about. Fear is all about the adrenaline. Adrenochrome is pulled out of a human being after intense fear sessions. When people are striking immense fear in individuals, they produce this particular chemical that they extract, you know? So fear is what's being implemented. So what you got to do is, you know, you need to start taking care of your body. Be more preventative than waiting till things take place. Stay very hydrated. Stay extremely hydrated. Because another thing they mention in Wuhan is people who have dry throats are way more susceptible to the situation than anybody else, because a dehydrated body activates viruses. Because like I said, viruses are not killed, they're just deactivated. Do you understand? You know, you don't take a hammer and smash your computer every night to turn it off. You turn it off and it's there the next day. So the viruses are the same thing. They're computers with hard drives inside of them. It's just that the hard drives that they got viruses on the hard drive. And if you take a hard drive full of viruses and put it on your computer, you're going to mess your entire computer up. So what you want to do, you want to deactivate that computer. And that's what you do. And the first thing that happens when you deactivate that computer is you putting it inside of your lymph system, where a lot of the fats and the oils and the lymphocytes are at. And that's where they stay. When your water level goes down and you get dehydrated, guess what happens? Now your lymph system is more pronounced. Now the viruses get activated and they start popping out. And this is why there's been a huge explosion in herpes in the community. You know what I mean? It ain't talked about. Folks ain't talking about it, but I know. You know what I'm saying? Because I've been dealing with it for years now with people. And over the past at least 4, almost 5 years, bro, folks is coming down with herpes who ain't even having sexual partners.
Yeah. The Hafisa, rest in peace, love and light, you know.
Oh yeah.
Sister Hafisa, she sounded the alarm about 8 years ago with Mom. You know, she brought the information to Mom because she was being overwhelmed by the amount of cases that she was getting, the caseloads. And she was like, look, there's a herpes epidemic going on out here. You know, I remember her saying that a long time ago.
That's right.
And then it started popping up.
We knee deep in it right now.
Yeah, I started seeing the celebrities talking about it, wild style. They was like, oh, everybody got it. And I was like, oh, there you go. That's your confirmation. You know what I'm saying?
You know what I mean? They're just, because we have to understand this, which people don't know. Chicken pox and herpes are the same thing.
Yes.
Okay.
Is the Cash App last name Thomas?
Huh?
Is the Cash App last name Thomas when it comes up?
Oh yeah, when it come up. Yeah. Yeah, when it come up.
Yeah.
Yeah. I be having to check myself. But it's
chicken pox.
The chicken pox, herpes, megalovirus, Epstein-Barr. What am I not thinking of? Shingles. That's what I'm not thinking of. Shingles as well. All of those are the same virus. Herpes simplex 1, herpes simplex 2. Herpes simplex 1 is the cold sore. Herpes simplex 2 is genital. What differentiates them? The fact that the virus actually hides out in the nervous system, specifically the ganglia. Ganglia is a bunch, a whole conglomerate of nerve bodies in one area. You have a spine. So your sacral region, where your second chakra is at, there's a ganglion there in your sacral region, which is right where your reproductive system is. That's where those herpes viruses be. while the herpes simplex 1 is actually in your trigeminal nerve. Okay, and that's what leads to the mouth. They hide out, they store, they chilling. And what happens is through the radio waves, through the 5G, through the blue light, okay, through the frequencies that we're putting our body in, as well as the stress levels, because you got to then add fight or flight at your workplace. You know, you got to think about your situation at home with your spouse, your relationship with your children, your relationship with your parents, just whatever relationships you got, and you balancing all of that. You don't think those feelings you getting have a chemical root? You don't think that those ideas that's popping in your head don't have a chemical makeup to it? Trust and believe it does, you know? So you got to make sure that you get into your right mind. You know, you have to hydrate. You have to get outside and ground in the earth. You have to sunbathe. You have to get your vitamin D levels up. You have to understand how to truly take care of your body, because if you don't, then you can have people influence your body. Y'all watch nature. Y'all been watching nature shows since y'all were children. I know I have. And you ever notice how we get to see those brilliant images? We get those brilliant images because we go in their environment and we manipulate them so that we can record some type of phenomenon. So you telling me you being observed, there's nothing that can influence you in order to record some dynamic phenomena of our species? You need to humble yourself. You need to really humble yourself and realize that you playing a role in all of this as well, you know? So I suggest that y'all hydrate. Like I said, you know, you need to start doing preventative measures with the herbs, you know? Solar exposure is the most important thing. Like, the creator is going to always give us a one-up, and they're calling this what? Coronavirus. They like, listen, if you don't get your black ass in the motherfucking sun, you're going to get the coronavirus. You get a coronavirus on your ass.
Facts.
Okay? That's where all of this has come from. We have sacrificed our natural sun for an alien sun. You understand? We're getting our visible spectrum from artificial means made by patented frequencies of man. Patents are just not made to get a long number to categorize them. There's a whole shit that's created with a purpose. So why are they patenting blue lights? Okay, why are they patenting coronaviruses? Why all these? Do you know 5G frequencies? This is the first time that organisms are exposed to the frequencies that they're creating with 5G. This ain't even natural frequency, bro. It's terrible. So the population density is the problem. So, you know, the best thing I could tell people is move out the cities, go in the outskirts. You know what I'm saying? If you got land, put trees around it. You know what I'm saying? You have a problem with the satellites, because the satellites is beaming them things too. But you need a perimeter of like spruce trees and because trees and nature. You ever notice when you go in the mountains and you try to use your phone, what happened?
That don't work.
So that shit ain't gonna work amongst mountains and trees. So the more,
even where I stay at, I'm in Atlanta, but it's like I'm in a forest in the back where I'm at, and I got that perception, but I have to, you know, count that as, you know what I'm saying, a telltale sign that I'm being protected by that forest.
Back. Like that video that we just premiered, where we were standing on top of Stone Mountain, and then the aerial view that you get from the perimeter or the top of Stone Mountain, you see that Atlanta is surrounded, it's forested, it's surrounded by.
Oh yeah, it's nothing but broccoli as far as you can see.
KT. So what are we to do with our shungite pieces?
Why you gotta exactly what you're doing. So what he's holding right there is a piece of a carbon, a particular carbon compound that's found out there in Russia, north of China. Because remember, when you talk in China and Asia, north of them is Siberia and all of that. So all in that area, you got a deposit of this carbon compound called shungite, and you got noble shungite, which is a more pure version. What makes this compound so important is because the carbon inside is actually aligned as C60 molecules, and I can show y'all what that is real quick. It looks like a soccer ball. So if y'all can imagine a soccer ball formed from carbon atoms, that's what a C60 molecule is. I'm about to show y'all real quick though. If you give me the momento, boom. All right. Y'all see that? Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
All right. So this is what shungite is made of.
I could tell. It looks like it.
All right. You can take a piece of noble shungite, take batteries out of flashlight, put the shungite in, and the flashlight will come on.
Light it up.
It will light it up.
You know, because this is the magic of melanin. What makes melanin magical is the fact that melanin is like graphene. It's one molecule thick, right? It's a 2D plane of hexagonal carbon, a carbon lattice that stretches out, and that allows for storage of energy and superconduction. Okay, so shungite has those properties in it. It also cleans water, you know, it does a lot of stuff, you know, but yeah, shungite is definitely that, and tourmaline are two particular crystals that I would definitely suggest utilizing with 5G in terms of helping to scramble them frequencies and protect. Now, this is another article that I wanted y'all to see so y'all can know that, you know, we don't be reaching. This is this is a published paper in the scientific community. Okay, in a journal called Vaccine. All right. So what does it say? Genetic diversity independent neutralization of pandemic viruses, potentially pandemic and carcinogenic viruses, and this is the shit kicker right here, y'all, and possible agents of bioterrorism by enveloped viruses neutralizing compounds, which I showed y'all before. So this right here is a methodology that they're studying to use against bioterrorism.
There you go.
Of enveloped viruses. Guess what coronavirus is? An enveloped virus. You see, it says right there, envelope. Okay, so yeah, we dealing with bioterrorism right in front of our face. This ain't no natural occurrence. Let's not forget what's going on in Sudan, Ethiopia, Eritrea right now, and Somalia. They getting super hit with the locusts. 90% of all their crops, it's a wrap right now.
Sudan.
90% of their crops.
Yeah, they're ravishing them.
Yes. And it was in Russia 10 months ago.
Well, in Saudi Arabia on January 19th of 2019, they got ravished by locusts, and they felt that that was a biblical plague because they've never seen that in Saudi Arabia. Yeah, so the locust has been on the move, unveiling these plagues.
Yeah, they're rolling by. They don't care who you are and what you're doing. They taking you up out the game. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Those bio-engineered.
This the new one right here. You know how they used to have the speed gun on the road? Now they got the temperature joint now for you, bro.
Yeah.
Yep.
They pulling you over and hitting you with the temperature gun.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying? Oh, wait, you ain't 98.6? What?
Out of here.
You over 100? Oh yeah, pull over. So my thing is, they can hit you with electromagnetic radiation and get your temp up, because this is what 5G do. 5G affects your sweat gland. See, it doesn't penetrate deep into your tissue, so they're like, oh no, it's cool. But what it does do is it affects your sweat gland. You got millions and millions of sweat glands all over the largest organ of your body, which is called your skin. And guess what? They're in a coil formation, bro. They are in a coil formation. A coil formation filled with none other than electrolytes, specifically salt and water. So when you hit an electromagnetic radiation to sodium solution, then what you're going to create is fire. You've seen, I don't know if any of y'all seen it on YouTube before, but people have lit fire to water that contains salt in it. It burns. Mm-hmm. So you can create a fire, a non-flammable flaming fire from your sweat glands through electromagnetic radiation hitting the coil sweat glands in your skin. So you telling me I can't just set it to sun and just get you to 99 degrees real quick? So I got a reason to yank you about the car? Come on, bro.
Spontaneous combustion you're talking about.
Oh, nah. Spontaneous combustion is something different. That's when you literally are combusting off of it. This is called microwaving. Now they're gonna microwave us the same way you did your chicken dinners over the past 30 years, them TV dinners. Now they have devices that can actually do that to you. You know that what does it do? Anybody who eats meat or has eaten meat and tried to warm it up in the microwave, what's happened? Tell me what the chat say, please. And this will teach you how disease works in our paradigm right now. What happens when you put meat in a microwave? What they saying? Everybody ain't vegan in the chat. I don't want to hear that. Everybody is not microwave fee in the chat. Stop.
I think it's a delay that they hear that.
It's a delay. They don't want to get set up. I'll help y'all out. It dehydrates the meat. You want to eat a piece of rubber, put a piece of steak in the microwave and warm that steak and see what happens. It's going to fry right out.
Because what the hell is being heated up by the microwave?
5 days microwaves, bro. It's the same thing. It's microwaves beaming you. The main thing that happens when you sit in front of your computer at night, this is what you do if you got glasses or no glasses. You're going to do this number right there all the time. Why? Because it's drying out your goddamn eyes. You got to be
doing it right now. Shit.
You got to drink water. You have to drink water and you have to stay hydrated because if not, the microwaves will dry you out. If you get dried out, then you're going to look like the Tin Man and the Wizard of Oz stuck in a forest full of apples where you have the opportunity to eat apples, chop down trees, do whatever you want to do, but you can't because you can't move because your synovial fluid is done. And it wasn't until he got some oil where he was able to move around and do what? Earn himself a heart.
You sound like Roddy Ricch.
You got that CBD oil or the Perilla oil, right? Which one was
it? He do for real with the tank, man. Y'all gotta oil them joints, and you oil them joints through water. See, oil is a code because oil deals with hydrophobic. You see what I'm saying? Water is hydrophilic, the exact opposite. So you got a metal artificial man using oil. What is an original man going to end up doing? You know what I'm saying? He got to put the hydrophilic substance, which is the water, in order to oil his joints. You know?
Stay hydrated, y'all. Let the brothers plug the products that they have for hydration of the body. And also for, feeding the minerals of the body.
Oh, speaking of minerals, let me tell you about the product that will be dropping this week. I put the post up on Instagram. Matter of fact, yeah, I could pull it up here. Hold on 1 second. 1 second.
Isn't that a directed energy weapon?
What's that? What's the directed energy weapon?
One that China developed that said that they burn you from the inside. Another thing that said,
yeah, that's what it do.
No, it was. I had the research about 5G being an energy directed energy weapon as well.
Of course, but that's what I'm saying. I'm telling you that the mechanism is the population density. So it's the energy weapon that we actually are the activators of it working. They don't have to do it to us. We do it ourselves, you know? So speaking of products, this is what's dropping. Okay, So Ionic Bionics, B12 amino acid complex. Okay, the B12 up in here, the studies have said 750% of the recommended daily allowance of B12, bro. Like there's no they ain't even quote unquote what they would call a meat source that would have that. Now, no animals make this stuff. This is a straight microbial made molecule B12. Okay, the animals get it because they're eating bacteria that got it, and that's how they get it in them, and then people get it from that. No. So we got our first vegan source. This is duckweed. All right, that's what it's called. Call this the freshwater version of my marine phytoplankton. So I got my ocean, and now I got my yimiya, and now I got my oshun. You know what I'm saying? So, yo, check this out. Just to give you an understanding now. Average woman needs about 14, 15 milligrams of iron, right, daily. A man needs, a little bit more, about 16, 17. Y'all know how important iron is. You heard Dr. say, you heard your own mama, right? We know how important iron is.
Mm-hmm.
What if I told you that 1 4-ounce serving of this, 4 ounces of this powder holds 43 grams of protein in it. I mean, not 43 grams, 48 milligrams of iron in it. 48 milligrams, bro.
It's amazing.
That's 3 times the daily amount, which means you don't have to take 4 ounces. You take 1 ounce, you get in your daily amount, just in 1 ounce of the powder. You get on your iron, but you could get a whole lot more. And of course, it's in its bioavailable form. We got 43.
How can I get it? Because I want some.
Say that again.
How can I get it? Because I want some.
Oh yeah. So we dropping it. Of course, I gotta link up with you so you can get that in your hand. But for the people that are watching, ktthearchdegree.net. All right, ktthearchdegree.net is where it's going to be dropping this week. I'll probably be dropping it for the weekend, so check it Friday, just like a movie release.
Right.
It's folate, stupid, but B12. I said B12. Why is B12 important? Not only is B12 important for your blood, B12 is important for your myelin sheaths, y'all. Myelin sheaths, okay? Myelin sheaths represents your nerves, man. Your nerves. Let me see if I can find a quick joint on the nerves right here that I could pull up on the screen. I don't see it. Hold on 1 second. I got y'all.
That's some pretty packaging. I know that much.
Oh yeah. We gotta make it look good, man. Because it's so good inside. I'm trying to make sure I could do it on the outside too. I'm gonna go inside here. I want to bring a picture of the nerves up real quick so I can tell y'all what the myelin sheaths is. Myelin sheaths are like the insulators, right? Insulators of any appliance you're talking. Whether you're talking about a lamp, or you're talking about a television, you talk about a computer, you talk about an iron. You have to plug it in a wall, and when you plug it in the wall, you tap it into the current in the wall, and the current in the wall is getting inside you. Okay, here we go. All right, boom. All right, so that mass in the center is the main body of the nerve cell, and that's the soma. Soma means body. Soma is also a substance in Indian culture and a few other cultures that hint at entheogens and psychedelics. But soma means body. The dendrites are the real small appendages leading into the body. Now, the real long arm that's coming at you at the screen, that got like those little cylinders on it, look like little cylinders. You see the 3 of them? That's your myelin sheath right there. And what that does is it plays the same role as the insulation does on the cords with your irons and with your appliances and things like that. So what does it do? It makes your nerve impulse go faster by doing what? By hopping in between those spaces. So as opposed to a nerve impulse going, you see my arrow going down the arm, okay? Like walking all the way down the length of that arm. When you deal with the myelin sheaths, when the current get here, it goes bop, 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 all the way there. So it makes you go 10 times, 50 times, 100 times the speed you would normally go. Now, our myelin sheaths grows from our childhood up until we're in our 20s. And then after that, it starts degenerating based on our lifestyle. So B12 along with folate are mechanisms that assist in the production of this myelin sheath. So by you not getting enough B12 inside of your body, what you're doing is you're dealing with running a risk of the myelin sheath getting deteriorated. Now, people that have a chronic situation of that, you know what that's called? Multiple sclerosis. It's called MS. It's called fibromyalgia. Okay, it's also called lupus. When the myelin sheaths get eaten up by your own cells because they're getting tagged as being foreign and toxic, and you eating yourself from the inside out. So when you do the B12, which has the same structure as chlorophyll and hemoglobin, it got that same porphyrin chlorine ring, except it got cobalt in the sense, so that's why it's called cobalamin. Now I'm going to read what it says right here. So Ionic Bionics B12 amino acid complex. The plant-based B12 source is here. It contains 750% of the recommended daily allowance of B12 in the bioactive forms, hydroxycobalamin, methylcobalamin, and adenosylcobalamin. This aids in the production of both myelin sheath and red blood cells. Duckweed contains a complete amino acid profile, provided sufficient protein at 43 grams, iron at 48 milligrams, folate at 113 micrograms, manganese at 25 milligrams, calcium at 1,300 milligrams, coming in hard, zinc 8 milligrams, vitamin A at 1,964, going stupid, and its omega-3, omega-6 ratio is the same as my perilla oil almost, which means it's benefiting the 3s more than the 6s. The difference between the hydroxycobalamin, the methylcobalamin, and the adenosylcobalamin is this. Most of the B12 pills you get is called cyanocobalamin. Why is it called that? Because it contains cyanide up in there. Cyanide. Now, even though it's in small amounts, remember, you taking B12 tablet or capsule every day, which means that amount of cyanide is going to grow and it's going to hurt you. What cyanide does is complex 4 of the electron transport chain. Once again, in your mitochondria, which makes all of your energy, you have the electron transport chain broken up into 5 complexes, 1 through 4, and an ATP synthase. The 4th complex that contains copper and iron, responsible for making water, ends up getting inhibited by cyanide, which then shuts down the whole process to create energy in your body, and you will die eventually from that if your mitochondria is getting shut down. So you don't want to mess with that type. You want to deal with the bioactive forms, which is methylcobalamin, call that because it methylates things, so it helps with the myelin sheath. You got adenosylcobalamin, which deals with adenosine, right? Like the one in triphosphate, the same adenosine that's in your DNA. So it's for fuel and for energy, okay? And then you got, as well as the red blood cell production, and then you got the hydroxycobalamin, which you would use if you took the cyanocobalamin, because it's the hydroxycobalamin hydroxyl group will attach to the cyanide and you'll urinate it out your system. You know what I'm saying? So it's totally complete, bro. This is like off the chain, superb, straight superfood. You know what I mean? So I know with a lot of my products, I'm honing everything down to get things down to the brass tactics with what people really need. You know what I'm saying? And this is another one. So this is 2 out of the 3 dynamic products that I'm introducing. The first one was, of course, the phytoplankton. This one is the bionics. The next thing that I drop on y'all heads will complete the trinity. But until then, we're going to focus on the bionics right here. And then the symbol on there is the Indinkra symbol Aya, because I know Sylvester Gates talked about the whole concept of symmetry.
Supersymmetry.
Yeah,
right.
Supersymmetry. And he talks about the Indinkra symbols actually being algorithms. You know what I'm saying? So
being tesseracts.
Huh?
Right.
Yes.
Tesseract.
Exactly. Unfolding.
44s. Yes.
Unfolding. So this is what this eye symbol is on there, because duckweed is special because it's the fastest. It's the smallest and the fastest growing flowering plant on the planet.
How fast does it grow?
Between 36 and 48 hours.
What?
I'm going to say that again. 36 to 48 hours, it grows to its full self and seeds from that point.
Wow.
That means that you're taking all that energy that that plant is using to go through its entire life cycle in 48 days. You putting that in your body. That's what's up. I appreciate y'all too. And they call it duckweed because the ducks eat it. This is what ducks eat. You know, you see them diving down and eat little things from time to time, but they're consuming duckweed on a constant basis. And ducks are what? They got their weight on them. You know what I'm saying? They're very, very healthy. You see the colors on their plumage. You know, they get a lot of their minerals and nutrients from consuming the duckweed. You know, another name for it is water lentils because it has protein like beans do. You know what I'm saying? So it's a very magnificent product. Another thing that I love about it, it has no flavor. I'm going to say it has no flavor. It has no strong flavor. The flavor is very mild, and it's not like a bunch of greens. It's so mild that you could put it in a fruit smoothie and you won't taste the clash of the plant matter along with the fruit juice. You see what I'm saying? So you can mix it into your salad dressings. I made some jerk falafel balls. I make jerk falafel balls. They stupid.
Do it man.
And
do it look anything like this?
What's that? Wait, what?
Do the duckweed look anything like this weed?
Yo, speaking of that weed, have you heard of THCP?
THCP?
Yes. You ain't heard of that yet? That's tetrahydrocannabidiol. That's listen, this is the latest, newest isolated compound out of marijuana that they found that's 33 times stronger than THC.
Oh, really?
This is what separates the albino rhino from the Maui Wow. Nah, you know when cats deal with different grades of green and one of them will shut them down and then the other one will be like, it's just a good one. They really understood why some strands are just so potent. They found out that THCP is the reason why, because it's more stronger.
Ew.
All right. Now,
I'm about to put them on the job right now.
Now, not only is there THCP, there's also a CBDP.
I mean, I know about that. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I mean, by the way, that's not. Yeah, that's not weed. I mean, that's not marijuana. That's hemp.
No. I know what it is. I'm just saying that there's another compound associated with cannabidiol. You know, so THCP is a new one. But this mechanism right here, because that one is not recreational legal in all the states yet. You know what I'm saying? But this one you could give to your babies. You know what I mean? You can give this one to your babies right now. And it's like I said, it's so mild. You could just mix it in with anything, so you can upgrade all the stuff you're doing. If you're making a baby formula at home, you know, with your sea moss and your hemp milk and things like that, and you put, you know, the duckweed up in there as well. Oh boy!
Right.
And this is for you, Blue. This is for you. What's the main thing every brother say to you when they say they scared of getting on a vegan diet? What's the fear, bro? Please.
Oh, losing weight.
Losing weight is the ultimate fear. What if I told you that I just put a goddamn stopper in the tub? Now the water could fill up. This one-stop shop for that weight gain right here. You
let me be your test dummy.
Yo, let me be your flat tummy tea dummy.
We need a whole thing up.
Yeah, I could do the before and after.
Who want to step up?
Nigga, your WhatsApp 7-day fast was so popping.
Oh yeah, that was
my phone now. It was ringing every, because every alert, when you WhatsApp pictures, they go into. I had to.
They go into your gallery.
Yeah, I need a new phone because of that.
Yeah.
Blue had to get a new phone because of that.
Listen, bro.
We do the 30-day WhatsApp red pill body challenge. Send me a.
Yeah, they was doing the push-ups at night. So I was in the morning.
We had the push-ups.
And then I would sign off somewhere around 6 or something, and then Blue come on around like 8, 9, and then they start doing the push-up challenge between each other. It was Fido and push-ups.
Fido.
So they hit your phytoplankton and then bust your sex out.
Yeah, we need to do that 44 days to spring. We need to do a workout regimen because I'm on my Dr. Manhattan. I'm Dr. Brooklyn, by the way.
Dr. Brooks. I like
Harlem. So black to me.
Dr. Brooks up in here.
Let's get to it because
before and after, I want to do that.
I'm back in the gym. I'm in a boxing gym, and I just introduced the whole gym to CMOS the other day. So I do want to implement another product. So I'm willing to, meet up with you and get the product and start. You know what I'm saying? Because that's really, that's people's concern.
Oh yeah, without a doubt, man. This one right here, this blew my mind, man. And I would like to take credit for it. I heard about duckweed some years ago. I was doing a little research on it, but sometimes you file things away. It was actually my queen that brought it to my attention, the Oracle.
Mm-hmm.
Like, babe, you might want to check this duckweed out. And I was like, duckweed? I was like, man, I was studying on that. I said, I forgot all about it. And I went back in on it. And I was like, baby, thank you. I tell you, the woman, boy, she be right on time. Mama, you know how she slide in with the gym all the time.
All the time.
Phil, why don't we drop that greenleaf-herbs.com real quick for everybody?
Okay.
They know how to get mama.
Yeah, let's get Mama Pill up there.
Yeah. Get my greenleaf-herbs.com. Go over there and support our mother, because all this wonderful energy y'all getting would not be possible if it wasn't for her mitochondria.
That's
okay.
Fact.
Indeed.
This message has been brought to you by Mama Pill's mitochondria. Back to y'all.
You tell me that I can holler at my dude Wesley Muhammad and tell him there's some safe weed on the market. It's called duckweed. We got some
now we're bringing out the Savior's Day. Yeah.
No.
Savior's Day, man. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. You can't give these young brothers this duckweed because they're gonna start growing breasts and the women are gonna start growing balls. They're gonna mess with the hormones. Like, nah, bro, this ain't that type of weed, right? Yeah.
Yo, they want to know what the hair growth formula is.
CMOS, bro. I'm gonna be straight up with y'all, CMOS. But
I don't want to let the cat out the bag. You know what I'm saying?
Huh?
My shorty been experimenting with the CMOS. She says not only is it growing the edges, but it holds the edges in place. Now I had to hear what she was telling me and do my own investigation and find out this is $1 billion industry where the girls don't got the cream that holds the shit in place all day. You know what I'm saying? They got to keep reapplying it.
It's toxic because it's gonna dry and keep it in place.
Yeah, CMOS holds the edges in place and it grows the hair.
Yeah, not just that, but if you take the gel and just warm it slightly. Get those little brushes y'all use to put I don't know, exfoliates or whatever y'all apply to y'all face when y'all do whatever regimen y'all do it. Just brush it on your face. You want to have a layer of gel on the face and let it dry. And let that thing sit for anywhere between 15 minutes. You can do an hour. Repeat that.
Look,
over the course of a week. You'll have a baby's ass.
Look, I'm living proof. My edges grew back.
Look at that. Podium, brother. Tell the people
Baby is back.
Yeah, he said
baby.
they found a new compound in the THC.
Yeah, but, yo, look, people in the chat, they're like,
they
want to do the 44-day challenge, KT. I'm ready, man. I made it out of January. I escaped January. Planet was falling. It was Chicken Little. Saturn and Pluto was giving me wild uppercuts and drop kicks. That was January. So we made it to February. I want to march into March. You know, charge up.
March strong. That's right. And Punk Satani Phil said it's going to be a short winter.
Right.
Yes. And the next day,
spring
it was 70 degrees in Atlanta. Shout out to Phil.
That's right.
The legend.
That's right. It was. Shoot, it was 70 degrees today.
Facts.
Yeah, it was 70 degrees today. That's right. So yeah, man. Get on this duckweed. Get on that. I'm dropping it on Friday. So I'll be putting it up tomorrow. So it might be up at midnight. You know what I'm saying? I know the video got to run. People are going to check it out. Y'all going to do all your little background research, find out about it. And you'll find it at ktthearchdegree.net. That's where it's going to be at, you know?
Okay.
But yeah, sea moss to grow your hair. I'm sorry. Let me finish real quick. Sea moss, grow your hair, consuming it, applying it. Remember, it's topical and it's invasive as well. You can ingest it as food grade. So you can use it for different things. Now, the other product that I have for people that are like balding and alopecia and having real serious chronic problems, when I stocked back up on it, because it's so like, boy, that was crazy. It was crazy when I got it, how quick it went. I'm gonna put pre-orders up because the amount I'm getting, that's good. I already know that's gonna be done, and that's called Batana oil, BATANA oil, and you put that on your edges, you put that on your scalp, you utilize that, you regrowing your hair. Y'all could Google that now. It even takes grays away. It even remelanates the grays.
What's it called?
BATANA oil.
You got that? You saying, or you coming out with it?
No, I got that. I'm sold out twice. I had it next to you. And see what I'm saying, y'all? You see, he asking me this. He was posted right next to me at both events, and it was on the table the whole time.
Yo, there was mob in your table, bro. I had to let you breathe.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I have folks that drove up from Washington, D.C. to get that stuff.
Yeah, you make rare appearances.
They out in New York first at the events, and then after the events, that's when I was gonna provide it online. And I provided it up, put it up, and it was gone.
Yeah, I mean, you see my platinum, you should have said something. I ain't know.
Yeah, it was right there. And it smells like coffee. It's like a brown reddish paste. And when you smell it, it smells like coffee and like caramel, like burnt caramel.
Mm.
Yeah, it's good stuff. It's good stuff.
I like that. Yeah. Well, I need that for for my lion's mane.
Oh yeah, let's not talk about lion's mane now. Don't bring that up. That's a whole nother conversation.
I got a new product coming out too. I'm gonna keep it quiet, keep it under wraps, but we're about to make a major drop.
Yeah, somebody's asking about, you got the sea moss for sale. You got somebody's asking about sea moss. Here's the website, y'all. greenleaf-herb.com. You can get the
sea moss. So you gotta drop your site for them.
Yo, go. Can you go? You could go to the site right now. Hold on, I'll go there.
Yeah, I got a new sea moss coming out as well. You know, I got some things. We need to meet up, KT. I want to talk to you.
No doubt.
We got a hemp conference this weekend. For the family that's listening, if you're in the Atlanta area, February 8th from 9 to 4.
Big hemping.
p.m.
Big hemping.
At the DoubleTree Hotel on La Vista. Okay, you can go to my Instagram page, and the link is in the bio. Is there any other place they can go, Tyreek? Is there any other place they can go get the information for the for this hemp summit this weekend?
Yeah, go up to the go up to the colon East Oxyhemo liquid nutritional guide. That's what they want right there at the top.
So these are the products on greenleaf.herbs.com. This is Mama Pill's product line.
And to put it in perspective so they know how important this bottle is, they looking at KT the Arch Degree wouldn't be here if it wasn't for that bottle right there.
That's a super fact.
Okay? Because Mama Hemorrhage, remember when I told y'all earlier that a woman needs 14 milligrams of hemoglobin daily? That's her reading. Well, Mama's was at a 2. Mama was at a 2, which means she was about to die. And in proxy, me being the baby, all jaundiced and just born, covered in blood, was about to die.
That's facts.
And if it wasn't for Ulu, who was part of Dr. Sabi's original camp with my mom when they was, creating Bolingo and everything, you know what I mean? That whole movement. Sabi instructed Ulu to bring my mother and I the iron tonic. And in doing that, drinking that every day brought her levels all the way back up, brought mine all the way back up to the point all I talk about is iron and blood in the body. So that's the bottle that saved my life. So I stand by it 1,000%. It works time and time again. You know what I'm saying? So I invite all of y'all to jump on that immediately.
Indeed. And then you have the CMOS Plus.
That's right. Me and Blue wouldn't have our CMOS products if it wasn't for Mama.
Facts.
Like we thinking CMOS, everybody getting the CMOS, bro. Like we thinking it's hot flaming Cheetos.
And then everybody got it.
Everybody's on the C. What? You don't drink CMOS?
Bro, they told me in my chat room that Kim Kardashian is drinking CMOS in her smoothie. I'm like, and
like, bro, everybody's on the moss now.
I was out there in 2012, 2013 proselytizing CMOS after Fukushima, and nobody knew what it was. So glad that y'all made it to the party.
Remember, Mom dropped the book.
The CMOS.
Mom dropped the CMOS book for Fukushima. She got to bring that back.
Yeah. It might be on this page actually. I don't know. It might be on this page, but yeah, she wrote that book that broke down the whole disaster and the whole fact that what chelate and deal with radiation poison. So you're able to get rid of the radiation in your body through that.
I went out there with the book as well, and it's been an arduous journey, uphill, going through storms to get there. But I'm glad that we made it to the top of Stone Mountain, and we could see the forest for the trees, and what I'm saying, everybody's running with the wave. But don't forget where you heard it first, and don't forget who has revolutionized CMOS in this particular industry, and it's the Pill family. But wait till you see what we got in store next.
Yeah, wait till they experience it. They ain't gonna get an opportunity to see it first. They just gonna be in it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, man. So we they're gonna always come. They're always gonna come with the health thing. If 2020 starts off with an outbreak, then the energy the year is about to be.
Yeah.
What was you saying?
No, I was just saying, it's my 10-year anniversary of Seven Heaven CMOS and family. The same way he said that, me and him wouldn't be doing CMOS without Mama Pill. I wouldn't be doing Seven Heaven CMOS without KT the Arch Degree. You know what I'm saying? He gave me the last missing ingredient in August of 2009 when I came to visit him in Atlanta. He gave me the last piece of the puzzle, and I went up there in October and debuted it November 14th, 2009 at a Dr. Sabi lecture in Brooklyn, put on by King Simon. So that wouldn't have happened if I didn't get that last piece and that last component. So thank you again.
I appreciate your thanks, brother, and I raise you. You leaving one person out.
Katoya. Yeah.
No, you leaving out Vanity.
Who?
Vanity.
From Prince? From the boat?
Last Dragon.
Oh, Vanity from Last Dragon?
Yeah. You gotta thank her too.
Well, thank you, Vanity.
You don't remember that's the name of her club in the Last Dragon with Seven Heaven?
Oh, it was Seven Heaven.
Oh man.
Seven.
I want to dance.
Heaven. Yeah, shout out to Vanity. She made it legendary. You know what I'm saying? It's a fact.
Shout out to Show Now.
You know what I mean? Teach me today. You mean 2 Chainz?
Yeah.
2 Chainz show enough. No.
So this brings us to our second part of the show, my good brother. Because once again, we were supposed to, with all of our guests that are coming back on a 10-year window, we're building with our guests about their 10-year runs. And we're building with our guests about, you know, what has been taking place ever since 2010 when you debuted on this platform to an audience who may not have been familiar with you. I just want to do something real quick here. We're gonna get into some memories. Okay? Who's that right there? Is that K2? Who's that memory lane, K2?
Who's that guy right there, bro?
Who's that memory lane?
Hey, who that is?
Mary Kay's taking over. Mary Kay take the whip.
Yeah, that was that's right. That was actually at the event I did with Inky. Big shout out to Inky right now. Check us out Tuesdays, the other guys, Universal Network. We just posted our latest show. I say check that out. But
Network
event. This is when Dr. Francis Cress Wilson had just passed.
Yes.
Yeah. Yep. I remember this event. We went in on that joint right there.
What's the name of the channel again? The Ogun Network?
Yeah, it's what it is the it's split between me and his YouTube channel. So it's either gonna be on KT the Arch Degrees YouTube or Dr. Inky's YouTube. It was on mine this week. But it's the other guy's Universal Network. The Ogun.
Okay, the Ogun Network.
Yeah.
Yeah. So they could just put, you got like tags for it. They could just put it in a thing and find it, correct?
Yeah. They could just go to my YouTube. Just go to my YouTube or Dr. Inky's YouTube, and it'll be there. We got them all. We got them titled. They all there. You'll see them.
So it looks like from this is 2016, family. This is a 4-year time span, right? Take us back into that time.
I had the red and black lumberjack
with the hat to match.
Right.
Take us a little bit back there. What was going on in 2016?
2016, I was starting to make more noise in regards to health because everybody was still with me on the Hollywood Decoded. They really didn't know too much about my health side of my. Click on the sister with the 3 pictures right there. All right, so this sister right here, this is powerful right here. All right, because
wow,
her and her mother and her sister just came down on our retreat. The Queen did the all women's retreat, and she brought all the sisters down with her. So it was an all female retreat this go round, and it was beautiful. Now, her mother actually came on the first retreat, and she came back, and this time she brought her daughters with her. Now, she actually suffered from a nerve damage in a car accident. She got in a car accident and then suffered a issue with her nerves, where you can see with all these pictures, mainly the one in the upper left corner, that she's not making that face. That's how her face was. Then if you look down at the one when she's underneath that one, you can see that it goes down a little bit, and then this one is gone. Now she don't got no problem at all. She came to the event Inky and did when we went on the Sabi tour. This was right after Sabi passed. We went on a free tour. We weren't charging people at the door, nothing. But we were just keeping the message going and upgrading the info and everything like that. We was at Doc's Bookshop in Fort Worth, Texas. Came into that event with her mother, and they watched it, and they got some Histonic, which is one of my products that I developed with Minister Inky.
I love it. I love Histonics.
What ended up happening was she hit us back just under a month later, and she said, I got my smile back. She was crying because think about it, y'all. What if yesterday was your last day you was ever able to smile?
Man.
What if from this day forward you can never smile again? Every time you around people, you like this. Yeah. What's that gonna do to your psyche? What's that gonna do to your energy?
It's gonna throw you off.
It's gonna throw you way off.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's gonna affect.
Yeah, I want to get you to work with Conway the Machine
in under a month. And now, let me tell you, she came on this. She came down to this retreat, and she is a beautiful woman, so intelligent, so down to earth. You know what I'm saying? And very warrior-esque. You know what I'm saying? She looked like she could just pull that. She looked like she could pull that blade out of nowhere and do some goddamn Tomb Raider / Chun-Li. You know what I mean? Like she's a soldier too with it. Right. She actually was in the military. Come to think about it, she spent some time, but you could see that on her.
Yeah,
See her. I say all that to say her confidence was definitely in full effect the whole time. She was not shy or timid or at all. You know what I mean? Oh, nah, I already said that. You know what I'm saying? I already said that.
Yeah,
I'll definitely holler at Conway and West Side, bro.
Yeah, AA is the plug.
Come see me. But no, that's why I wanted you to point this picture out, because that's a testimonial of somebody dealing with our products. And I remember when we say products, is not snake oil. Our products represent the research and study, all this information you hear me spewing out right now. It's putting that into action. Okay, look, there she go now. Look at that smile.
Look at that, bro.
Look at that.
Remember, if anybody's familiar with stroke victims, that's what happens when people have strokes and the side of, not only that, but I'm sure anyone who's been with someone whose nerves died, that's the look that they have. But now she's fully smiling.
That's right.
The miracle, my brother. That's the miracle. Could we click on Baba?
Come on now, you don't gotta ask me that.
Okay.
That's right. So that's my father, y'all.
Baba.
That's my daddy. Okay. Y'all always ask about Sabi. Yeah, Sabi's my father. I had 3 fathers. I had Donald Grafton Hooker. I had Alfredo Darrington Bowman. And then I had my father, my biological, my daddy, the man who whooped my ass for acting out. You know what I'm saying? And didn't think twice about it. George Edward Tate, also known as the Poet Laureate of Harlem. So all up in New York, I don't even get the respect like that, bro. When I come into Harlem, like I'm supposed to get some rose bearers or something. Nah, but my father's the Poet Laureate, second only to Langston Hughes. He has a proclamation from the state, so he wasn't no self-appointed or just community appointed. Like, he was recognized as the Poet Laureate, and he was a beast. He did At War, he did At Arms, and he did Sword Songs. Those are his books of poetry. African Alliance, which I used to deal with when I was a child. My mom brought it up on the Other Guys Universal Network we did when she came on as a guest. This is where, all the legends that y'all look on YouTube now and people who transcended, this is where they would get their rocks off all the time, because there wasn't no YouTube. So that was their YouTube stage. Right. We talking Dr. Bed, Leonard Jeffries, Ivan Van Sertima. You know what I'm saying? We talk about all the people in the community, the elders. That's where they would actually, do their lectures, do their presentation, do their events at. And my father would do his poetry there too, and also organize functions there as well, where he would bring me up from time to time. So at the age of 7 years old, he would have me memorizing 3-page poems that didn't rhyme, Say it again for a 7-year-old. You looking for the rhyme, bro.
Exactly.
Nah, he would have me recite those poems in front of everybody. So I used to recite poems, and it's like I'm speaking to y'all right now. I used to speak to Dr. Ben and Leonard Jeffries, and I know Professor James Smalls was up in there as well. You know, all of the elders of the community would go to the Alliance to get their rocks off, and I had an opportunity to do that as a youth. You know, so he instilled principle in me. My digging deep, my humility, my lack of what people call showmanship, but it's really me saying I just don't gotta stroke it like that. Because if you got it, you got it. You know, that was him. Like he taught me you don't gotta do all that flash. You know, let your flash be in your word and your produce. You know, his work ethic is unlike anybody. I don't give a damn who you bring up or who you tell me about. Nobody worked as hard as my pops, and no one recorded as hard as him. Like he documented everything. You ask him anybody's birthday, not only will he tell you their birthday, he'll tell you their death day, and he's the only person that Lloyd Strayhorn, the numerologist himself, will give credit to. Because him and Lloyd Strayhorn would go at it all the time on the numerology. They was back and forth with it. Alley-oop, Jordan and Pippen and Jordan. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah. So his numerology game. Oh, the vegan gene. Go back to that. Yeah, this is beautiful. This represents when I came back from St. Croix, where we relocated to St. Croix temporarily, getting ready for our first retreat, which was supposed to be that year in October, and got hit with Hurricane Maria. We were there for the Category 5. We're talking 200 plus mile per hour winds, bro. I'm sitting right there looking at it. I'm in it. House is shaking. The water sound like glass hitting the side. The wind of a hurricane sounds like a giant talking to another giant. You know what I'm saying? I'm listening. I'm like, yo, who is that, bro? Yo, it's death defying. Like you really humble yourself when you're in a natural disaster of that proportion. You know what I'm saying? So I went from paradise one day to the next day getting up, and it looked like a nuclear bomb hit the island. It was the craziest transformation I've seen overnight ever that I lived through. And we was on the island, couldn't leave, FEMA everywhere, Air Force everywhere. I had to get flown out by FEMA and the Air Force, bruh, on a commercial line that only had me and like 15, 20 other people on there, something like that.
Wow. So
what this is, right after we got flown back into the States, we went to Texas, and this is Mama Akwete's store called Pan-African Connection, which they attacked Dallas over on and it's a 44 blue. It's like a 33 44 or 22, but it's 44 something. But it's Marcellus Avenue, something 44 Marcellus, and it's in
I remember the promotions, yeah.
Yeah. So this is when I came up with the information on the vegan gene, and that they actually found a gene connected to veganism, or a gene that shows people go back to being plant-based and what happens when you activate your vegan gene, you know? So this was a real powerful event. I got to drop some real good information on everybody. That was 3 years ago, I think, at this point. Crazy.
There you go. They go to door 446 South Marcellus Avenue. 446
South Marcellus.
That's right.
Yeah, big shout out to Mama Akwete and Pac Dallas. She is a beacon of the community. She is a pillar of that community. Look, I survived Hurricane Maria. This in the hurricane. Look at the trees behind you, bro.
That's a fact. Wow.
Look, the reason why I'm holding this box is because there's no way to get no food. The supermarkets owners are on top of the supermarkets, right, with AK-47s, and they got the militia at the door. Everybody got to stand in line in order to get inside the supermarket. You get an X number amount of water and da 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 da. And I think it's only cash too, because once we got up there, they was like, "Yeah, the credit card systems is down."
Yeah,
like, oh, it's crazy. Category 5 in this piece. Oh, because they knocked down all the canopy, all the bees got released. Because the bees don't got a home no more. There's no more canopy, so there's no more shade. So it's hotter than a mug. Oh, it's wild, bro. But the people on the island, they wasn't stressed. It was a hurricane. They just, you know, they dealt with everything. They got past it. Oh, now Marvel, don't do that. Oh, yeah, go back before we show this. Well, we leave it there. Go back. That's my girl Taj. For those of y'all who don't know who that is, you better jump out a window. Now I'm just playing. That is SWV's own Taj right there. Okay?
In the knees.
In the knees, baby. You know what I'm saying?
I ain't gonna lie, when we was liquid youths, she was J-Lo in the hood.
Oh man, I hear that. Yo, guess what? Look, she's only 3 days away from mom, bro.
She's what?
She's 3 days away from mom.
Birthday? What you mean?
Yeah, Taurus. She's like the 26th or something.
I'm thinking that you were saying her birthday, like when she was born. I'm thinking she's one of those anomalies where it'd be like, "That's my sister." No, that's my grandma.
No. No, I'm saying her and mom they're just a few days apart.
Oh, she a Taurus.
She a Taurus, yeah.
Yeah, I'm good.
She a Taurus like mom is, you know.
Right. Well, explain to the family what the connection is, because she.
Through one of my clients, another client that ended up coming on one of the retreats. My man down in Miami, you know him because he hooked us up with that event we did down there in Miami. My man Dawood, big shout out.
Oh my God, shout out Dawood.
So that's his cousin. Cousins. So Taj was dealing with a couple things. I ain't about to air her out like that. You know what I'm saying? She was dealing with a few things, and he referred me to her. So we started doing some work, and we formed a relationship and a rapport. So one thing she did, which you're looking at right here, is she invited me to a tour that SWV was doing with Belle Biv DeVoe and In Vogue. And then we was in Detroit, and she asked me to do the food. Can I do a vegan spread? Because she was like, I do vegan. She was like, Coco might do a little something. Lily might do something, but In Vogue, they got some vegans, and then your boy and Belle Biv DeVoe.
Ronnie.
Let me guess, it was Biv with the vegetable, right? Biv.
No, that wasn't Biv.
Ronnie. Ronnie's a vegan.
But no, Ronnie loved the food though. He was like, yo, matter of fact, I put him on the phone with Kiba.
Wow.
I called, yes, I did, because she was crazy about him. So I called her up. I was like, yo, because it was her birthday. That's what it was. Wow. It was her birthday. I was like, Kiba, happy birthday. Hold on.
Crazy.
And put Ronnie on the phone. Straight. Foaming through the phone, bro. Man. You know what I'm saying? So she invited me to the event and did the whole spread, tore it up. So if you go to the next picture, that's somebody part of their camp. He's not a vegan. He got a plate. Yeah, there you go right there. There go Mike. Yeah. So he was like, bro, this is vegan? This is so good. Like, he ran through that plate and was talking about that food all night long. It's some mac and cheese, some jackfruit, green beans, kidney beans, and quinoa. Yeah, that's some quinoa over there. And then that's the coleslaw that goes with the jackfruit. I think I had the squash nebula. Yeah, he got everything on that plate. He went in and went back and got more.
That's a copy and paste. put that out. I'm hungry.
Facts.
I'm about to 3D print that plate.
So then after this event, she invited her and Eddie George, because I don't know if y'all know that, but she's married to Eddie George from the Tennessee Titans.
Back.
Yeah.
So they invited us to their home for the weekend to cook for the weekend. So we went to Tennessee and we lived in their crib right next to the Super Bowl, to the trophies and the all the awards and everything. I was wilding. I was tripping, bro. I was tripping. Like, if I'm not used to it already with all my other lineups that always end up happening in my life, I mean, it's always brand new to me. So I think I cooked about 15 dishes. And then, they just ate from everything that I cooked. I remember my queen, Marie, she cooked her spelt cake. She makes this spelt cake that's just ridiculous. And Eddie George was going crazy. He was like, man, this cake, boy. Oh, go back. That's the one right there. That's Trafalgar Square, man. Go back to Trafalgar Square. Go back. Go back. Boom.
Lead to Wakanda.
Yes. Now go to the next one.
With the king.
So I took this picture and posted it. Oh yeah, that's my man that I saw when I was over in Brixton. They had a whole art gallery going on. I was like, they knew I was coming.
Right.
Yeah, that's Park in Brixton. That's right. Strictly for my
to Brixton.
What year was it?
It's just, huh?
What year was it that you was in Brixie?
That was 2017, right? I think that was that was 2017. That was 2 years before y'all.
Strictly for my nagels?
Yeah, strictly for my nagas.
For my naga, that's fire.
That's right.
What's the picture you wanted me to go back to?
Keep going back. One more. No, the other way. You're going the wrong way. You're going forward now, I think.
No, that's back.
That is. Yeah, keep going. Right there. So I took this picture in London, and the poster wasn't out yet for the Black Panther, because this was 2017. Black Panther came out February 2018. They ain't dropped the poster yet. This is the poster they dropped.
Wow. Legend.
I was talking Black Panther and all that stuff that whole time.
You was giving it up. You even had,
4 years before the movie. All right, let's put it on the goddamn record.
Yeah, 1 year.
4 years before the movie, you made your predictions.
Yeah, I told him, and I even told, a lot of people don't remember, I told them who was going to be the Black Panther.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah,
when I'm talking about predictions, I'm talking about on the nickel. And we don't say this enough, but Chadman Boswick also played number 44, goddammit, in that movie. He's a 44 resonator too.
Oh yeah.
What did he play? Eddie Little? Which one of them dudes?
You talking about
in the Syracuse movie? Yeah, the running back.
Right. The movie with this. Yeah. With Jim Brown and all that in there.
Yeah, Jim Brown and them, and my dude was in it too.
So I broke down when I was in London. One of my events was Spider-Man Decoded, and breaking it down in London. Then when they do Spider-Man 2, he's in London.
You a fucking
he's
legend.
In London in the second one. I'm just, I just put it down, bro. You know what I'm saying?
You were quantum tangle with when you were on your Decoded. I remember, like you were saying earlier, a lot of people were not familiar with KT the scientist.
Yeah, everybody was on my metaphysics side.
I mean, you were being
side when I wild out.
Decoding is high science.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely. That's why most people just say pseudo and turn the nose up to it, because when you don't get it.
Yeah, they can't spar with it. They can't spar with it, so they got to throw a label at it and duck.
This is a painting right here.
I remember that.
Yeah, this
Atlanta.
got the Olmec in the center. You see the Buddha.
That's a fact.
You know what I'm saying? Then you got the pyramid and the moon, and then the sun and the earth on the other side, on both sides of the Olmec, like the left and right hemisphere. You got Khepera.
That's fact.
Now going around it.
Now I want to go on record saying that if it were not for KT the Arts Degrees, artistic, you know, and Blue Pill. Let me not get chewed out by this Negro on a private chat. Because Blue Pill, the first picture that I utilized for Kings County was an art drawing of Blue Pill. He did a futuristic drawing of a pharaoh.
Oh yeah.
Back in the day, he made a hip hop.
2001.
Bitty, slow down. A hip hop Nesu Bitty, and wait for it, go.
Now, I said it was in 2001. I just wanted to clarify that. I remember I was drawing Aaliyah at the same time that I started drawing that particular, you know, configuration. I forgot what book I was reading, but it inspired me. I said, I need to make a contribution to this information, and it needs to be a fusion of a modern day.
It was probably that Akhenaten Mothership book.
Yeah. Okay. It probably was the Akhenaten Mothership. Remember that book? The
like that thick.
Fire.
Huh?
It was like that thick.
Fire.
Yeah,
and then the pages, the words was little, and the whole page. So it was really one page was like 4 regular pages.
Wow, right? And I remember, the towers came down, and I stopped. I started drawing Aaliyah like she was a butterfly, and then I used the towers as the backdrop, but I was drawing that other picture simultaneously.
Wow.
And that's where that came about. You know what I mean? And I had an idea in my mind. I said, because this was before computers had made its full revolution, and I always was saying I want to do digital backgrounds. So a lot of my drawings don't have backgrounds because I had already in my mind said I want to do this thing called digital backgrounds, and they was like, "What the hell is that?" And I was like, one day the computer is going to allow you to draw, you know, a background pictures. And I was able to do that with that picture. That was the first.
Hold on. Let me stop playing. Hold on. Because this is we playing. This is show and tell, right? This is career day.
Oh, chill.
Keep talking, young man. You got to do the show and tell.
You know, I do. You inspired me to get into painting, and I haven't really gone that way yet. I'm a painter in my mind, right? I've built up all of these Picasso portraits in my mind that I'm gonna, you know, get around to one day. But yeah, you inspired me to get into the paint. You know what I'm saying? Because I was always into the markers, and I'm talking to you, KT.
No. I hear you. I'm listening.
All right, somebody was saying something about an art gallery. So I need all of my investors that are watching this. You know, I need all of my art gallery owners that are watching this. I need all of my art enthusiasts that are watching this to understand what perfection is and understand that art appreciates. Remember, it appreciates in value throughout time. So we're sitting on.
Yeah, that's all number 2 pencil with toilet paper for shading.
You should have
all of that.
Number 4 pencils. Talk back to me. And look who was on your 4s right there, 4 corners.
Yeah, all day.
Leading to the underground.
Family, this was way before anything hip hop was associated. You know, well, not really, because the
I had the drip.
No, don't explain like that.
My shit was drippy. I had the Cartier cage wrist.
Look at the tats. Was he getting tats? Like that. Tats on my face. Look at the Rolly with no tick sound. He was in the crook and flail. You know what I mean? Like
my dude, he was kidding and outfitted. You know what I'm saying? I had the 3-step pyramid with the 3-step lower steps going to the underrealm and to Menta. And shit was crazy.
So what I'm saying is, look out for the art gallery showing
Put my screen back up real quick. Red. Oh, yes.
You're going too deep.
I know. Let me stop.
Feel that right now. Yeah.
Slow down. I got you.
Right there, though. Yeah. So for those of y'all who don't know, okay, 9 years ago, DNA in the mitochondrial matrix. Been talking about the mitochondria before it was popular, before people even knew what it was, and connecting DNA, our DNA, to the mitochondria before there was big talk about all the mitochondrial diseases and everything like that.
That's fact.
Everybody was caught up in the decoded, but they wasn't hearing the health info. But that's cool. Y'all ready for it now? Y'all could definitely go back. I got 10 years plus in the digital domain.
That's facts.
Facts.
So Blue Pill was my inspiration with the artwork to put it on a shirt, because I was learning how to apply images or artwork to fashion. I cracked that code when I was in Miami working for Pitbull and teaching them. And then when I went to Atlanta, KT basically gave me like you said, he gave me the last ingredients to create the formula as the twin pillars. Keep in mind that the arch degree completes the cipher. This is Masonic principles, but not the Mason things that people are scared. We're just talking about sacredness.
Building, right. Master builders.
Master builders.
Robert.
When I saw what KT was doing with the artwork, you know what I mean? When KT was in it, because this was around the time Amir was born, right?
Mm-hmm.
And
doing all them I was busting all them paintings out.
You was going in. You was in your bag, bro.
Yeah.
We had them big ass Kemetic books from like the Metropolitan Museum.
That's right.
The books
going hard.
Images that I ain't seen to this day. And I just fell in love with the beauty of Kemet through the artwork and what you were doing. And we were talking about art galleries and putting, and getting this thing going. So, we've been on this path for a very long. This was more than 10 years. This was like 07.
Oh yeah. Definitely. Definitely.
So,
art, y'all been rocking. Y'all been doing the art thing for a long time. My art got sparked because y'all was drawing and y'all made it look so effortless. And really, to be honest, it wasn't just the effortlessness, it was the creativity. It was like how you was making everything y'all own. Like you weren't just drawing what y'all saw. Like and even when you were drawing Wolverine or Cable or anything like that, like y'all were drawing it y'all way. Y'all would have your own shading. Y'all would have your own colors. You would make them a little bit more wild looking. Like you would add a finesse to it. Yeah, that's what y'all was doing. And I was like, I got tired of just being a spectator. I was like, I got to get in this.
But that's what happened with us in Nakiba.
Nakiba, yeah, man.
She was drawing horses. Nakiba was drawing stuff for mom, and we was like, yo, we can do that. We don't talk about. So we started drawing stick figures.
Right?
We was drawing stick figures. We were drawing stick figures, and then when Nakiba showed us form, she showed us how to take the stick figures and create form around it. And that was the beginning of it all. You know what I mean?
And A.A. Rashid deserves an honorable mention.
A.A. Rashid is an honorable mention.
Because he showed me free form and simplicity, because my shit used to be multi-faceted and layered.
Yeah.
And then he just did line drawings and that shit looked wow. I was like, that shit was wow simple. He
swipes to the pen.
Mm-hmm. So these I'm just showing the family. This is my brother's journeys to the islands, throughout the years, his transformation.
Yeah, we've done four so far, 4 in 18 months.
That's right. his walk. This is his birthplace, St. Croix, the Virgin Islands. You know,
where y'all genes come from.
That's right. The Twin Islands, St. Thomas,
The Twin
St. Croix. And our middle name.
That's right.
And Thomas stands for twin. I'm Philip Thomas Moreland, and you're Kamani Thomas.
That's right.
So the islands, the Twin Islands, those are very important to us. You know, shout out to my ADOS. Because
hold on.
You know,
in November 14th.
Oh yeah.
Hold on.
Oh.
Huh?
That's the one. No. You got to back it up. Don't block it out. Do the full shot again.
Do the what?
There we go. All right. So I don't know if y'all noticed what y'all looking at, but for those of y'all who don't know about my electric leaf, this is a plant. Because I made this statement, and then somebody like did their own video talking about they put me with somebody else, and they was like, "Yeah, KT out here talking about you could power your home with a leaf. You could power your home with a leaf. Come on, KT. What you selling, bro?" He was going hard on me, bro. But this is a juice from a leaf, Bryophyllum pinnatum. I call it love bush. And what I did was I have the clock working. If you look at follow the wires.
Follow the wire.
Attached to electrodes sitting inside the juice in this cup. Now, I know a lot of people say, oh, man, tomatoes and potatoes and lemons, you can make electricity. No, I'm saying 2.2 kilograms of the plants to yield juice, like you see right there, will give you 15 kilowatt hours, which is kilowatt hours is how you measure the power in your home. So I'm just showing a clock right here. Lemons ain't powering your home. Tomatoes ain't powering your home. And you can't take one lemon and then grow 20, 30, 50 more lemons from that one lemon. You can't do that. You can do that with the seed and plant it and wait for years for it to grow a tree and yield fruit and then replant it. But I'm talking about within a week, you'll have sprouts. The leaf is regenerative. You know, matter of fact, I got the leaf downstairs. I can go grab it. I got some sprouts sprouting up right now. I can show y'all. It grows right out the leaf as a whole nother plant. So one leaf can grow 30 plants out of it. And that means that you have a renewable energy source because you have a plant whose juice can power your home, and the plant regenerates on its own even without seeding.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, if you want it, go to my YouTube channel, KT the Arch Degree, and look for the Love Bush generator. That's what I call it. Power your home with a leaf, the Love Bush generator. I do the whole experiment there. I tell you how to do it. You know, but you're definitely going to have to get some Love Bush juice. You just have to tell me where you are. I have people growing Love Bush all throughout the states, in Miami and Detroit, all over. So anytime I need a few leaves to get sent somewhere, I can holler at one of my associates, and they can send you some. You juice it, you mix it with water. You're gonna get some copper sulfate from the pet store that you use in aquariums to increase conduction, and you're gonna pour that in the cup, mix it up. You're gonna put a zinc electrode, which is just a strip of zinc, a strip of copper. You're gonna put wires to it, and then you're gonna get a voltometer that measures, and you'll see the voltage. You know what I'm saying? So this is me showing you straight up, boom, you could power your home with a leaf, with a plant. Love bush, Bryophyllum pinnatum. Google it, look it up, check it out. This ain't no scam. I'm like, how am I gonna scam people saying you could power your home with? I'm not selling the generator. I'm telling y'all how y'all could do it. You know? Yeah, that's inside the botanical garden in St. Croix.
No, it's not.
That's in Wakanda.
No. I'm about to say that's on the Django set on Tyler Perry Studios.
Stop it. Hey man, I was trying to surprise everybody with my new role, man. Nah. You said y'all on the set. Yeah, I got some movies about to come out real quick, man. From behind the camera.
That look dope. That's in St. Croix, you say, in the jungle.
Yeah, that's in the botanical gardens. This is an actual sugar mill processing area for back in the day. And you're looking at the irrigation channel. I'm standing on, water runs through that.
Facts.
Yeah.
Fire.
Yep. That was the Get Out. You know, when Get Out came out, people was blowing me up. Okay? I need that. Oh, that's the one right there. That's that coochie plant.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, that's that. Come on, tell me that don't look like.
You know what that look like?
Heaven is in between.
A woman's leg, bro.
Woman's leg. But this is called African tulip, and what African tulip does is it's a natural douche. So what you would do is, this is a bud that the flower busts out. It's a beautiful flower too, brilliant orange and red and yellow. But if you leave it in the bud and just clip the tip of the bud and squeeze it, it squirts. It can squirt 12 feet, 15 feet. It's crazy.
It's a squirter?
It's a squirter.
Yo, that's at St. Croix, right?
Yeah, it grows all over.
Yeah, I remember those.
So a woman on a regular occasion to keep, you know, because a lot of women ain't cleaning themselves like they used to these days coming up. They got all types of smells because the stuff they eating.
Mm-hmm.
What would happen is you would take this bud, you clip the tip, you would put it right in the entrance, and you would squeeze, and it would shoot up. And what happens is the water that's sitting inside amongst this flower contains a lot of water-soluble nutrients such as B vitamins.
Mm-hmm.
These water-soluble nutrients you squirting up into your vagina, it's cleansing the vaginal canal. It's cleansing out your whole area, douching you in the process. The other thing you can do is if you hold it over your eye and let it drip one at a time, it's an eye wash. It's a Visine.
Let me find out. I gotta go on Instagram and go get me a baddie with 800 million followers to go promote the one who made a few billion off the flat tummy tea. She can follow up with the flat flower squirter.
No, the flat flower, the squirter.
Flat flower squirter. You know what I'm talking about?
You just call it.
I'm gonna have Black China push this shit, bro. We gonna have Black China as the influencer.
No, we ain't getting Black. We get Black China. We need to get Jada Kingdom or something.
Oh man, you said who? Jada Pinkett?
Jada Kingdom.
Oh, Jada Kingdom.
Yeah.
Oh,
she was down there the last time we were there, bro. We got to see her.
Listen, you got me thinking.
Yeah, man. She was on stage in her tiger suit, bro. She went in. Wow. Y'all later on Instagram and know who Jada Kingdom is. Do yourself a favor. Do yourself a favor. Please do a favor.
All right, let's keep going. We're gonna go through a few more of these pictures, man. You know, I just wanna
yeah. You know where I'm at, right?
Yeah, this is a scene from Get Out.
Yeah.
Is that the Donald Glover video? Is that This Is America?
But who am I with though? Who am I with right now?
Who?
Come on, bro. There's only one person I could be with right now, looking like that. Come on, bro. Come on, man. I was shooting out the Jordan Peele. Come on, bro. He could have got me. I'd have been perfect for us. But nah, I was with KB.
Yeah, the shaman. Yeah, that's the shaman's weapon. Yeah.
The shaman gets you when you go up in there, boy.
Oh man, that's definitely the lab. That's the duat. You with the shaman.
Yeah, I'm with the shaman right now.
That's one of those I could take your heart swords. Cut right here along the sternum.
Right there.
Whoo, God.
That's St. Thomas. That's right across 40 miles across the water from St. Croix. On a nice clear day, you can see it. So it's like if you're driving on the highway, you about 40 miles from downtown, and you see the skyline.
Family, no passport. Going back, KT.
Necessary. Next retreat, we doing some local stuff. Yeah, so we doing 2021 for the next St. Croix retreat, and we got some international announcements that we're going to be making as well. So we working on all of that, putting it together so it can be nice and airtight. But anybody who got inquiries dealing with our future retreats, just go to lovegreenlife@gmail.com, or you could go to the artsdegree.net and send through there. This is on St. Thomas in the banyan tree. These are trees where the roots grow down, like in India. So I had to do an event. I did a speaking engagement there about kidneys. I was breaking the kidneys down in St. Thomas, actually, in the trees. I'm on my Wakanda before there was any Wakanda, bro. I swear. All this is Wakanda love right here. What kind of love is this?
What kind of love is that? Nah, man.
What kind of love?
What
love you got?
Magical,
oh yeah, that's the baobab.
Baobab.
That's that baobab.
Look at you.
Y'all who know about baobab powder.
You still got the baobab powder as a product?
Yeah, I still got it. It's sold out right now. We sold out over the holidays, so I turned it off on the site so people don't be waiting on their order with it. So I had to shut that down for the time being, but it'll be back up very shortly.
That baobab is powerful, bro.
It's amazing. It's amazing. Vitamin C and microbiome. You get your microbiome in order. That's the whole tree right there, y'all. And after you crack open the baobab fruit, this is what the fruit looks like inside. It's chalky. And they powder it down, and that's what you get when you get the powder, is this powder down. And there's seeds inside in each one of those chunks. You just take them and you can eat it like a peppermint.
Super fact.
That's some good stuff right there. That's that
like edible.
So yeah, that's after the event in St. Thomas. They came on out.
Big up stuff.
I was dropping it on them hard about them kidneys. Oh yeah, that's the flyer. And then that picture of me sitting down, that's at Scalen's joint. That's at the Coral Castle.
Coral Castle.
That's the castle right there.
How was the Coral Castle?
Man, you gotta sit up in that throne. You ain't went yet?
I didn't make it to
Miami.
I know.
I know what you was doing. Don't judge me. Yeah, this is when this was another stop on the Sabi tour. Y'all saw the one in Texas with the sister. This was another one we did in Miami.
Fire.
Yeah.
That's Coral Castle's right there where Inky is.
He's right in front of it. That's right. And when I really went into CMOS information a lot deeper.
Okay.
Notice how popular it was becoming. So
yeah.
Oh, that's the Dasheen leaf for the callaloo.
Big ass leaf.
Oh yeah, that's the Dasheen. That's what the Trinis use. But in St. Croix and other islands, they use the amaranth version. Oh yeah, that's when I had to handle Batman real quick. And Tom
the hand on Batman.
he was looking at my Wiz. She was walking by in her jeans, and he looked twice.
King Simon in the building. He said he went to the Coral Castle.
Hey, King Simon everywhere.
Yeah, he go everywhere.
King Simon won't tell nobody about that portal he know about. He be jumping in to get everywhere.
Simon be going through. He be teleporting.
That's what I'm saying. He moves a rock and then just walks through a little tunnel. And
he was taking an Uber copter. He got some kind of.
Everybody taking planes and buses and cars and everything.
Tunnel.
So this was an interesting picture right here because this marks a pivotal point in my movement right here.
When your jazz album coming out?
This is at the debate that was taking place at the Alhambra Ballroom where all shit broke loose. You remember when that happened?
Yeah.
I ain't gonna say a bunch of names, but it was very controversial. And after that, certain things wasn't happening no more. And I'm kind of just looking at all of the chaos ensuing, and I'm like, what the hell am I doing? I'm like, I need to just talk to the people because this is just too distracting. And it's so funny this picture got caught because the picture just reflects where I was.
I can see it. Either you was about to sell us a motherfucking you and Coltrane's greatest hits, or you had something heavy on the brain. You looked like you was making a life choice.
Yeah, I've been getting fried since I was knee high from these cats. Boy, they know how to drop bombs on. Oh yeah, that's that sargassum. That's that brown algae. Ooh. It's the family of bladderwrack.
Bladderwracky.
Mm-hmm. Mm. Oh yeah. I broke down. Yeah, I broke a little bit of Moana down, Coral Castles.
With Hank, brother, Lester Lovin and Hank.
That's right, brother Hank Rising. Mm-hmm.
Uncle Hank.
Hank Rising.
Our good brother, Knowledge Born Allah, do the Knowledge Radio.
That's right, Knowledge Born. Big shout out.
I have good news to share with you about, being able to host some of your digital archives, but that we're gonna keep that for another episode.
Oh yeah.
But I do have some wonderful news for you.
Oh boy.
Yes.
Kwanzaa comes early.
The ancestors are blessing us.
Kwanzaa comes early. Kwanzaa comes early
on these parts. Yes, this was a flyer celebrating the life of Dr. Sebi, Mama Pill with the facts.
That's right.
Which was in Harlem. This was the Harlem one. Wow, I didn't know it was the flyer. That's fire. That's from the old Mac. I remember that.
Mm-hmm.
I love that one.
This is my man Syntax. If y'all ever been in Detroit, I know y'all see all the murals everywhere, but there's one graffiti artist that's pretty much crowned the king up there, and his name is Syntax. He a beast. He did the Rosa Parks up there, the Joe Louis, all of that, and he did that. That's Luke Cage.
Fire.
Yeah, did that for me. He was actually at the Steams conference. Remember he did that Dr. Ben? Remember he got
Yeah, he's a legend. Oh, that's him?
Yeah. That's it.
I need to highlight that man again.
Yeah. This talking about the Hecka magic with Dr.
Yeah, I'm looking at this. I need this Hecka slide.
Yeah.
Yeah, Hecka lit.
Hecka lick. Yeah.
Yeah, about our brother, the brother Zen in Atlanta who.
Oh, so you heard. I went today. That's why I got this shirt. I still got my clothes on. The funeral was today.
Oh, the funeral was today.
Yeah.
How was it?
After me, the Zen, rising power to a powerful brother named Zen the Shaman from the community. He was a brother who had the ability to consult with the ancestors and with the other side and do readings and assist you with decisions and things that would come and just help you get more spiritual with yourself. And he wasn't just blowing smoke in your face. Like, dude was spot on. He'd been helping me for years. He just suffered from a heart attack. That's the word that I got. I haven't got too many more details because it's still early. It just happened. He transcended on the 29th. I went to his homegoing today, and I'm proud to say he got a huge family, bro. He's one of 11.
Wow.
I got to meet his dad. His pops is OG. Like they some real. I was so shocked because I only knew him. My relationship was just with him, and he was such kind of a when you a shaman, you do things like that. You kind of solo with that thing.
Yeah, you think you walking a solo walk.
Dude got himself up high. They was in there strong. And his brother recognized me. I didn't think nobody was gonna know who I was. He was like, man, all he did was talk about KT. He was like, I know you. I can't believe you came all the way down here, brother. I was like, man, I could not have missed this, bro. This is my man's right here. So Rising Power, he's no longer Zen the Shaman. He is now Zen the God.
Zen the God.
Yeah.
So we're gonna go through a few more of these pictures, KT. You have an extensive network.
Yeah, that's my birthday. I had a birthday celebration when Doctor Strange dropped. Remember, it came out around my birthday. So we went to go see it in Detroit. So we was deep out there. I got a lot of love in Detroit, man. Like I've never gotten welcome anywhere so much before. It's something about that town.
And I'm contemplating. Huh?
That's Dr. Inky and Chase, his son, right there. One of 10.
I'm thinking about going down to Savior's Day, the 23rd, to go see Farrakhan because he's telling the family to check him out for the,
Where is he? Oh, I'm glad you put that up. This up. Okay. So the Detroit Psychedelic Conference. This is Baba Kalindi. Now, we always honoring Babas after they pass or after they in a state where they can't really present themselves no more. We never really honor the ones that are here and still like alert. Baba Kalindi is an elder who's been around the block and he's coherent, sharp. What you talking? He is. You know how everybody says Terrence McKenna for psychedelics. You know, you might say Paul Stamets for mushrooms. Well, when it comes to mushrooms and psychedelics in our community, shoot, pretty much across the world, I don't want to just limit him to the conscious community or just the Black community. He's global. He's world renowned with this. Baba Kalindi is the top honcho. This man has taken over 40 grams of psilocybin mushrooms before in one setting, not adding up 5 grams in one setting, going in on the journeys, bro, like taking the heart leaf herb from Black Panther. So this is a conference that he throws every other year, because one year he does the psychedelic conference so that there's a conference where our people can come to, because it's dominated by Caucasians. Y'all too scared for this. I'm be straight up. Y'all too scared for this. Y'all rather play with all the drugs that they giving you and the chemicals and the food. Y'all don't want to play with God's molecules. Y'all scared.
That's
so all the Caucasians is jumping in, having their trips and their experiences and opening up their minds and everything like this. And we ain't doing it. And if we do pop some mushrooms, we microdose it. So he got this conference that he does so that we can bring the latest information dealing with psychedelics and what they do for the body, people's experiences, folks that want to know more, want to get introduced into it. These are a lot of experts and people that deal with this. This year, it's in August. It's August 7th through 9th. And both Inky and I will be presenting on the 8th. At this conference. So if you want to see Inky and I getting down in Detroit on some psychedelic light information with the shrooms and everything else, I suggest.
I gotta come there and talk about that toad.
Oh yeah. The Cambo. Oh yeah. Talking about there's a toad that secretes
5-MeO-DMT.
Yeah. And that's a stronger, like I was talking about the THCP earlier, that's a stronger version of THC. 5-MeO is a stronger version of DMT. You see what I'm saying? And the mushrooms secrete that, and you able to smoke it. Now, the reason why I push mushrooms so tough is because every other psychedelic you have to process in some type of way. You either got to smoke it, you got to boil it, you got to cook it. You know what I'm saying? You got to mix it. Like even ayahuasca, you got to mix plants together so that it works.
Mm-hmm.
Mushrooms are the only ones you walking down the street, you just pick it and eat it. Mm-hmm. It's already done, and it already has the levels that you need in it. So, y'all want to see a revolution? Y'all really want to see a revolution? Then y'all start pushing for psilocybin to be decriminalized in your region. You know what I mean? And you'll see the revolution.
The initiation.
That's what I'm saying, bro. Like we talk about rites of passage. We talk about levitation. We talk about Kemet. And the hieroglyphics, you don't understand them till you take shrooms. That's the point. You're supposed to consume shrooms. Then you go in the temple and look at the walls.
That's facts.
The walls decode themselves and reveal to you their meanings, which directly reflect what's going on inside of you. You know what I'm saying? That's how that jump works.
My whole thing is, if people talking about going on journeys, or you want to be initiated, the initiation ultimately is being able to take that first step to go within into the infinite. And you might think that it's being done, that you could do it through yoga poses and meditation and breathing. Not to say that you can't, but the real initiation, if you ask anybody doing this thing for real, they're going to talk about being able to defocalize, being able to tap in, okay? Being able to have the courage to go on that trip, to go within, to peel the veils back, to look at the man behind the curtain, and all of the ego death, to be able to kill the ego and tap into the one, because you won't be able to do that until you kill the ego. So what do you mean to tell me you're gonna read a book and kill your ego, or you're gonna meditate to kill the ego? That's
after the shrooms, and then you see a whole nother angle at what you was reading.
It's called the initiation. We're not trying to. What I would encourage is to go amongst the masters at the psychedelic conference.
Baba Kalindi. They can see his name real quick. K-I-L-I-N. Oh, it's on. It should be on here. No, it's not on the fly. Okay. K-I-L-I-N-D-I.
Yeah.
K-I-L-I-N-D-I. Kalindi.
Kalindi.
Yeah, he's on Instagram, so you can get him on Instagram, and he got a lot of videos on YouTube too, so you can check him out. He's also a master martial artist. I don't know what degree. He's way beyond black. Like he's triple black darkness.
Yeah.
He does the Manchu arts. He does the ancient African styles, and he's a beast with it. And what he talks about also, this is the other side, is he talks about psychedelics and training. So folks working out and folks doing Krav Maga and Muay Thai do shrooms and train there.
Mm-hmm.
I know y'all probably think I'm tripping, but it's kind of like the construct with the Matrix when he had to train with Morpheus. What they were talking about is what you do when you take a shroom. That's it, Kalindi. You take a shroom, right? The right dosage. And I'm not telling y'all to run out and just buy some shrooms and do them either.
Yeah, that's not what we're saying.
We're telling you to research, get information, come to the psychedelic conference, look up Baba Kalindi, okay? Whenever somebody takes shrooms, you're supposed to have a watcher there, somebody who knows about it, who can look over you and watch you while you're taking it.
You gotta have a spot.
Right? And that thing lasts like 8 hours. 8 hours. And it'll last you for the rest of your life. The changes. Your brain will never be the same.
That's a fact.
You know, Ibogaine is actually a time machine. Ibogaine. Because when you take Ibogaine, what happens is you create an augmented reality within inside your mind that you go into and you experience just like this world, but it takes you back in time whenever you started your addiction. So if it was a cigarette, it'll take you back to a time that triggered your cigarette habit. You'll view that whole emotional, psychological instance that you experienced. No, you're never too old for shrooms. Never too old. And what was I just saying? I was reading the person's remark. I was answering somebody's remark real quick. Time travel. There we go. So you take the Ibogaine, it takes you back to that instance. You create this augmented reality, and you go back to that moment where whatever triggered you to do that addiction, you see it. And let's say that you went into a hologram and you're looking at yourself going through the experience. You can enter into that experience and change the dynamic so that after that fact, it's almost your mind believes that you never smoked at that point. You never took the heroin after that point. Heroin, sick, it don't matter what your addiction is. You could be a nympho, addicted to sex. You know what I'm saying? It don't matter what the addiction is. And you go back to that point, you overcome it, and now you come back out of the ritual, and there's no addiction no more.
No, that's super facts.
Yeah, Iboga's a beast, and Dr. Ando used to speak about that. Crazy. He also was in the Alliance back in the day. One World Alliance. Get on them shrooms, start studying them shrooms, bro. I'm trying to tell you a lot. Y'all are not able to create because you got too much noise going on in your head all the time, too many distractions. Do you remember Weapons of Mass Distraction? That back in the day, the DVD, that lecture. Look at how important that is now, bro. They were so ahead of their time with that. That was way before the social media when they dropped that. Weapons of mass distraction, not destruction. Weapons of mass distraction. So it gets all the distractions out the way instantaneously. It's not no 6-week course. It pulls you out of your reality and drops you in some real shit where you got to make real decisions. I don't know. You might get dropped in front of a 20-foot tiger and you got to fight this tiger and defeat this tiger. Maybe you just have to pull one of the tiger's teeth out and take it to somebody. I don't know. It just is whatever your psychology is and you're going through is going to reflect that. So people have bad trips is because, yo, you got some bad spirit in there. You didn't fast before you took the mushrooms. You was eating Popeye's chicken sandwiches. You know what I mean?
Yeah, there's a prep. You have to prep yourself.
You might be a rapist, and you just ain't a rapist right now, and you around a group of cats. Nobody knows you a rapist though. You go ahead and pop them shrooms and see what happens to you. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, you have to prepare for this. It's a very spiritual thing. You know what I mean? But shrooms are on the comeback, bro. It's no stopping the show. I mean, marijuana is a given. That thing's about to be recreational everywhere. It's not going to be a problem. But the shrooms is coming. And it's like, get on that. Get on that. Because there ain't nothing making a change stronger than those shrooms, bro. Ain't nothing got the effect. The superpower, come on, you want to be super smart, super whatever, get a super shroom.
Look what this brother said.
Oh my God. No, that's the absolute facts. Listen, the heroic dose for shrooms is 5 grams of dried mushroom, not 5 grams of psilocybin, but 5 grams of the dried mushroom, not the fresh mushroom, dried mushroom. That's a heroic dose. Anything less than that is microdosing. So people usually take anything between 1.5 grams to 3 grams, you know, and you see the colors, you see the geometric, but one of the main things that happens to you is you get arousal. So you ready to copulate, you ready to get down and dirty. Now, if you get with a sister, if you happen to get with a sister under the influence of these shrooms, it's going to be something you and her will never forget, ever. You know what I'm saying? You will never forget that one. So yeah, you don't think that they was popping shrooms and getting it on and killing? How you think the Kama Sutra came?
Yeah, how you think they
the muscle was like, oh, you think you can only do 3 different side positions? Let me show you something. Because I'm very limber.
Let me introduce you to the Kepra, not the Boston crab, the Kepra crab. Yeah, how about that?
Come on, bro.
How about the Tahuti baboon? How about
that? For real, the scorpion. Shoot, we give it simple. But nah, man.
Doggy style, Michael style.
Nah, yeah, Ampu style.
Ampu style.
That's where all them Kama Sutras came from, bro. All of this stuff came from, shrooms is everywhere. Where you think Mario Brothers got it from? Just think about it. You got an Italian plumber. You got a reptilian. Let's not forget the reptilian who was implementing industry on the natural world, trying to kill everything by fire, right? You got the plumber, and what he doing? He eating mushrooms, growing big and strong. He eating mushrooms. He dies and comes back with the mushroom.
That's fact.
Let's say that again, because that's what shrooms do. You die. When I did shrooms in May, when I did my heroic dose, bro. Bro, I tell you, my legs started slapping together. It was, your body's not yours no more. It turns into an instrument of light. Like, we don't see ourselves like a guitar, and we don't know how to strum our strings. But see, when you take certain things, you become the vehicle that you need to be. So I experienced death. I saw myself, I died and died and died. It was like a fractal death. I kept seeing different iterations of the same thing with my arms crossed and my head over. And then I know that's what the opening of the mouth ceremony is, because it's feeding people the mushrooms, and is leading down into the digestive system where the serotonin receptors are, so you can experience the effects. You know what I'm saying? So it's a death. And in Mario Brothers, what ends up happening? You need the green and white mushroom as a one-up. And if you die, you can come back. So that's what mushrooms do. You're able to die and come back. I'm not saying
physical death.
Shoot yourself.
Yeah.
Or jump off a ledge with a shroom and pop it. No, I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is you consume a shroom, you go on your trip. That trip is equivalent to a death. You will experience a conceptual death within inside of yourself and in your mind while you're home in the dark on a bed being watched over. And when the trip is done, you wake back, you come back too. Okay. And that same thing happens in Mario Brothers, you know, and then the star makes you invisible. Flowers make you shoot fireballs. Like they was telling you that the whole plant kingdom give you all your power. Let me ask you this. When did Mario hit a brick and a pizza popped out, Red? When did a bowl of spaghetti pop out when you jumped on a turtle? Or
Italian, right?
Huh?
No pizza, no spaghetti, no ziti.
He was eating all plants, bro. The only person that was a carnivore was Yoshi.
Yeah, Yoshi want to eat eggs.
Everybody. Yoshi was like Chinese food, bro. Everything.
He was in the nation. He was mad dairy.
No,
Chinese, right? He eating bat soup.
But yeah, man.
Then when you get that star, you start running through shit. Got the
that's what I'm saying. The star makes you invincible. You know what I mean?
That's fact.
Oh man, no, he didn't. Oh, dun, 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 dun. Yeah, shrooms. A lot of people ready for the shrooms, man. Like I said, take your time with it, study it. Look up Baba Kalendi. Look at his videos. He every year he's not doing the Breaking Convention, which is in Detroit, August 7th through 9th this year. He's at the Breaking Convention in the UK. Okay, so when y'all went out there, I think he just left.
I think they says that.
Yeah, he had just
in Fudishi, and they brought that up.
Right. So the Breaking Convention is the world's largest psychedelic convention. And Kalendi is the brother representing us breaking through, the whitewash as it occurs everywhere else.
Breaking through Hellman's jaws.
Exactly. Breaking through the mayonnaise. Exactly. You know what I mean? And not only is he breaking through, just looking out for himself, he's breaking through and bringing people with him. When I went to London the first time, it was because I was invited by him to the Breaking Convention. It was deep. So if you type Breaking Convention in on YouTube, that'll come up, and some of his videos from there as well. His history, we had him on the other guys, Universal Network 2 weeks ago.
Oh, that's in the archive.
That's in the archive. That's on Inky's channel, that episode. So go back and check him, episode 6, Baba Kalendi. And he drops so much history that you don't know about.
I gotta go check that out.
Shrooms do. All the questions we be having, that's all we got to do. We need to ask them questions and pop them shrooms. What'd you say?
Shout out to Hank Risen's son.
Oh, definitely. Hank Risen's son is one of the main people in the community, constantly reiterating how important it is to incorporate psychedelics and entheogens, and offers situations for people to experience them in certain occasions. Once I broke down the acacia at the Evolution Conference, he jumped on the acacia and started creating products out of that. So, I love that I'm able to inspire, it means somebody's listening.
Shout out to my brother Dooley out of Boston. Dooley. The brother Dooley who was doing the tobacco. He was blowing the tobacco up people.
Yes, my man. He's always at the psychedelic conference every year.
Yeah, he's a
every year he there. Yeah, he there every year. Yeah, he did. He was doing the Kayoba.
That shit hit. My brain felt like It got hit with a Molotov cocktail.
You got hit with that defibrillator. Clear.
My brain, yes. I wasn't ready. You know what Kevin Hart? You know, I'm sitting down. I'm thinking it's gonna be a walk in the park. He put the thing on my nose and blew that shit. My brain went poof. I think my head grew that day.
I wouldn't be. I'm trying to tell you, it knocked the dust off that thing, bro.
It knocked the dust off my brain.
And then you did your presentation and went ham.
Yeah, it got me right for that presentation. I was so ready. Like I got over the shock, and you know, I was like, "Nigga, you better not cry."
You better deal with it. Yeah, that's the thing about it in theater. I got to understand.
Like I was ready to tear. You know what I mean?
It's like getting put in a roller coaster, and somebody come up to you and be like, "Are you ready?" You like, "Yeah." Once that roller coaster go, they ain't no, "All right, pull the roller coaster back." They don't happen like that.
Yeah.
No, you got to be ready for the road, bro.
And he was hitting the top of my head like I had a weave or something, and he hit it with the singing bowl. And he was circling the singing bowl around my head. Actually recalibrating, because I'm doing a lecture on theta waves. I'm doing a lecture on, you know,
gave you a whole theta boost.
Bam. It wasn't smoke, y'all. It was a powder.
It was a powder.
It wasn't no smoke.
It's if y'all look up Cohobo or Cohoba, it's something in the West Indian islands. The pipe is a Y shape because the
indigenous was on it.
The bottom blows through the bottom part, and the split part goes in your nose, and it goes straight up. It's like Adenanthera paragosa, something like that. I can't think of the actual Latin name of the plant right now, but it's just a whole
He had lines of people. Oh
yeah, he be wilding, bro. Like at the psychedelic conference during all the presentations, he over on the side doing Tai Chi the whole time, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Anytime in your peripheral view, you just it's going on. You know, I remember when I went to the UK, that was my first time doing DMT. And DMT is extracted from the acacia root. If you skin the root and turn the skin over, it's purple. Purple like Thanos. Like Thanos blood, like that. Like if you make Thanos bleed, that's what it's looking like. Now you go through a couple process. There it is. Thank you very much, Haiku. Anandinanthera peregrina. That's what it's called. That's what Cohobo's scientific name is. And the beans, you crush it into a powder. Okay.
Am I too old?
Me listening to this. Y'all talk about smoking DMT and everything. But nah.
Everybody clutching their pearls, looking at Jesus like, praise us.
What do you think? Jesus is the mushroom. Listen, don't have me pull Jesus, the pictures out of Jesus back in the day, bro. What do you think? What do you think the flesh of Jesus is when you go to the Catholic Church? Originally, it was the flesh of a mushroom. Okay? Yeah, the whole Bible is about shrooms, bro. I could break all that down to y'all, blow y'all mind. But when I took that DMT, bro, DMT is instantaneous. See, with a lot of the other ones, it comes eventually after an hour, 45 minutes. DMT is you hit it once, you hit it twice, you hit it the third time, and you're there. So like if I said, yo, you want to go to Miami? You hit once, you hit twice, and then on the third hit, you in Miami. That's what happens bro. The minute I did it, she had this crazy sculpture on the wall. The cube started coming out. Ew. My hands looked like boxing gloves, bro. They was like Thanos-sized hands. I'm looking at the lines in my hands, and I'm looking at the capillaries in my hands, and I'm looking at the layers of capillaries in my hands. Then I'm looking at my blood cells flowing through the capillaries in the layers in my hands. The more I looked, the more myself I could see, bro. I looked right through my shit.
Yo, I would tell
kids. It lasts like 3 to 5 minutes, though. And then you're out.
For how many minutes?
3 to 5 minutes. They be like, all right, you seen enough. Whew.
Yeah, King Simon. I would probably say Hank Rosinson at this point.
Yeah, he may have it. I'm not sure.
I'm not sure, but
UK
5-MeO DMT, because remember, the toad is the God molecule, and DMT is the spirit molecule.
That's the natural one, and it's gonna last a little longer too.
Yeah, the toad activates the gamma, your gamma waves.
That's right.
You know, and the gamma waves in the brain.
The flow state waves.
Exactly, that's your flow state, and that's a state of brain activity that the average person doesn't necessarily always tap into like that. That's the breakthrough part.
We see it in sports when a lot of those teams are in a crunch.
Yeah, when Damian,
LeBron, Kobe, all of them.
Yeah, you know, when my nigga Dame is going ham, when Kobe was going ham, when LeBron locks in and he goes into a flow state where everything he throws up, that's NBA jams when you're on fire.
That's right. Exactly. He's on from downtown. Ugly shot.
That's Mario with the star. You know, so what happens with the DMT? What happens with the toad is when the smoke is coming in, and you know they're like, yo, just let it go in and breathe, because you gotta extend your stomach, breathe, you know, inhale, and as you inhaling it, you gotta hold it in, and as you holding that smoke in, I'm talking about Spirit Airlines, my nigga, out of here,
gone.
I'm talking about you feel yourself melting away into what they call the nothingness. But the ego death that they speak about is the fact that you stop utilizing the monkey reptilian brain, and once you sink into this nothingness and this light begins to envelope you, and you're not scared of anything because it's not scary. Because in the spirit, with the difference between the God molecule, DMT, and the toad, is you're not seeing things.
Right.
It's not a trip. You're not hallucinating. You're not seeing. You're not tapping in what it is that you're feeling. You're not seeing things. You feeling God. I'm talking about you're feeling God. God is hugging your ass.
That's
right. You know what I'm talking about? What? Now, I'm not gonna say God because y'all gonna get confused. You mean if God was hugging you, did her breast get in the way? You know what I'm talking about? No, it's non-gendered. It's a light. I don't want to, you know,
creator force.
Anybody's bubbles, but it's a light. It's an energy. It's just it is like they say. It's to be, but the energy is feminine.
Oh yeah,
because it's love, and love is a you know. I mean, from what I've felt in life, it's a feminine energy, but it's definitely a feminine and masculine. It's a one. There's no separation. So
yeah, it's not. Look, there's really no confusion while you're there. I would say one of the main things you feel when you consume these substances is you feel
orgasmic.
Definitely that. But I was gonna say like there's no worry no more. Like
away.
Yeah, like everything's gonna be all right. Like you get it. You get your shortcomings. You get other people. You get why you got like, and it don't matter no more.
No, you cannot get that feeling naturally. No.
I mean, look. Let me tell you this. So somebody would say this, Red. They would say, well, if you go to like Tibet or to some of these shrines and you meditate, right? You can achieve those states. And what I would say to people thinking like that or thinking to say that is, why don't you ask those shamans and those gurus and them elders what they eat when they meditate? And they're going to show you some shrooms and some peyote. And they're going to show you something, bro. It's no getting around it.
That's what I'm saying. Like, the toad is not going to last you that long. It's going to wear off. You're going to come back into your ego. You're going to come back down to earth. If you want a heroic dose of those shrooms, my guy, you probably could sit like a pretzel You and Russell Simmons could sit in a yoga pose for mad long and not think about nothing and be in nirvana. Those people are under the influence of some. Don't fall for the tricks. You only have one life to live. Do you know what the toad did for me? The toad helped me face what would be called the great inevitable. Because I said to myself, well, God damn it. If this what this shit feel like when I die, nigga, I'm ready to die. I turn into a baby. God. Because if this is what it is, when my spirit leaves my husk, I become one with this light right here. And it can't be any other light because that, this shit is you don't think, that you've tapped into the source.
Oh yeah. You find out that you are the source.
You find out that you are the source. I found out that
it's not just a dope saying to feel good about yourself. The same way things, like just because somebody didn't tell you something, you like, yo, I know what's the name about to call me. I know he about to call me about this junk. And lo and behold, right in the middle of you doing something, your phone rang and you like, you know what I'm saying? So it's an experience, bro. It is an experience. There's really no getting around it. I feel that that's a main disconnect with the elders in the past generation. And this is no smoke. I'm not saying that I don't appreciate their contributions, but it was definitely limited by the fact that they didn't go through that rites of passage of consuming those shrooms, because those shrooms would have took them to a whole nother place. And that's something that we pass down, to the next generations. The earth has it here. Do you know that there's a psilocybin jet stream, Red?
A what?
A psilocybin jet stream. The spores of psilocybin mushrooms have a jet stream that fly over our head, bro, all over the planet, landing in the dung of cows like little spaceships.
I could definitely see that. Like, that's a no-brainer to me.
So it's part of us, y'all. It ain't nothing to be afraid of. It's just something to deal with. You know what I'm saying? Anything else that you got to learn how to do. You study it, you research it, you get acquainted with it, you understand its ins and outs. And when you feel ready, then you study some more. And then you go in.
In April, I believe, we're going on a trip.
Oh yeah, you going on the Shasta, right?
Yeah, we're gonna take a trip, y'all. This is a healing retreat. This is a couples retreat. This is a fall in love with yourself and fall in love with the God within you retreat. This is all of that. This is getting out the winter, getting out of hibernation season, getting out of the box, getting out of the death cycle, and tapping into something to bring you anew. So go to that website right there and make your next move your best move, because we're on YouTube and we're telling you the benefits of plant medicine, natural medicine, not any, keep in mind, we're not mentioning any chemicals, anything that's lab grown, anything that's considered to be a narcotic. That's not what we're talking about. We're speaking about plant medicine, healing modalities. We could talk about ayahuasca. Shout out to Chef Aki. And I know that she does trips and whatnot. Everybody that's taking the trips to go into the jungles and to go into Peru to help people deal with their core issues, to help people heal, to help people go within so they could benefit off of the quote unquote path of enlightenment. Because people are like, if we're giving you the cheat code to tell you that instead of going around the block, down the street, up around the corner in order to get in the building, you could get out the car, get out the Uber and hop right in the building. Why would you think like that? You're not, once again, we're problem solvers. We don't have forever to be here. We're here to experience what here is. And like I'm saying, if you think reading books, if you think philosophizing, and if you think regurgitating and parakeeting the best of YouTube is going to make it for you, you're sore. In 2020 right now, this is when this is when the shit really matters. I don't think that you understand what this is. So go with people who know what's going on. Hit me up on my inbox, wherever you find me at. and talk to me if you're ready to level up and tap in. Go and do your research right now. As soon as we get off of this, because I don't have to sell anything. We're just sharing experiences and what it did for us, and and how because I was afraid at first. You know, Blue did it, and I was like, this nigga's on drugs. You know what I'm saying? And I was like, what the fuck? Because I didn't understand. But when I went and did, you know who really was hammering? I kept hearing Mike Tyson, Mike Tyson, Mike Tyson. And I used to work for Mike Tyson. Me and Blue, you know, we worked, you know, in the 90s, we were working with Mike and Jackie Rowe and everything. And
that's another cat you drew that was so back in the day. It was a cold pencil you had, boy. I remember that one.
That's a cold pencil I have.
Oh, you have? You need to post that joint so people can see that thing, man.
It's still here. But to see who he's become, because I knew who he was, I was like, this might be something that I might need to tap into.
Bro.
And
hey,
I've been on 2 trips, you know, and I'm telling you, you know, it is definitely, to be honest with you, the first trip was that was the real breakthrough. It took me 3 times, but I kept telling him, send me back. You know what I mean? Send me back, because I you know, I'm almost getting to Mars or whatever the feeling was. Send me back.
Yep.
And the 3rd time was a charm.
The 3rd time,
you know, I did it during the Lionsgate, 888, and I promise you, Hank was my shaman, and I told that I was like, take this shit, because he was like, yo, can I get a like some footage? I'm like, yeah, nigga, content is king. Let's go. And I'm letting you know that. And it was a grown man right there. My shorty was outside, and I felt so good on the 3rd trip, because once I tapped into the God molecule, it was orgasmic. I was so at one with the one that I was cheesing so hard that it felt orgasmic, bro. And I felt like
love.
I felt so powerful that I got nervous. Fuck around with that. I got nervous. I was like, let me pipe down, because I'm finna go Great Hulk on these niggas. And I showed it, and I showed it in my lecture. I didn't public, but the same day there was a nuclear explosion in Russia. When I got out, when I came back, and Hank was like, you all right? What's going on? Nah, he didn't say that, but he was like, you all right, right? And I said, Hank, I said, you see when I was doing that when you see when I was basically doing my super scion shit? And he said, yeah. I said, I saw a white light went off like an atomic explosion, and I directed it. You know, because you could feel it building up. But I was like, yo, if this shit explodes, I might come back to life, and Brooklyn is flattened. I was like, in my mind, I said, send it to somewhere the mayonnaise is at. And that day there was a nuclear explosion in Russia. Archangel. All facts.
So you throwing astral projected command.
Because you realize the toad helps you realize that this really is all a simulation. It shows you that you are definitely one with the simulation, or whatever this shit is. You are manipulating all matters, and there's no such thing as time and space.
We're totally interwoven and intertwined in it all. And as much as it can influence us and manipulate us, we can influence it and manipulate it. It's just that it's constantly so heavy on us that we don't think that we can manipulate it. We could just carry it. We could do a lot more than carry it, you know?
Brother Hank had me holding an orgone pyramid. I had mad orgone around my neck I'm holding two copper. I had a copper rod and a silver rod, and playing water sounds in the background. So I had one vision. I had one vision, and I was naked on the beach, right? But I was working. Imagine if you walking outside, and I'm walking from the house. I'm walking from the estate, and the ocean was at my feet because when I went to St. John's, Derek Grayson and was staying at this. They were staying at this dope spot. You know what I mean? Basically with seashells and a beach, and it was the whole ocean right there, the Caribbean Ocean. Right. So the vision that I had, the sun was rising up on me, and I had my babies and whatnot, and we were basically the sun was just like beaming. Yo, it felt like heaven. It was I listened to, and it felt like heaven. And I'm saying
it is, bro.
We're not here.
Filing out by it. It's still
yeah. Say it again, KT.
I said it's still affecting you now.
I mean, I just went on a trip.
Oh, you went on another one?
It was on the alignment with Jupiter and Pluto. The day the Jupiter and Pluto aligned on the 24th.
What you do there?
I took off.
What you took?
3 times. Toad.
Oh, the toad. That's when you did the toad. Okay. Yeah. So you still fresh on it. That's gonna last you. That's gonna last you throughout the whole year. That's the thing about this. It's like with theogens, it ain't like no one session high. It ain't even like getting high. It's a session that lasts almost indefinitely, but it's definitely noticeable for a good 6 to 18 months. The shrooms with the heroic dose is going to last you 2 years, bro. You still going to be having changes going on in your brain.
That's next. I'm ready to. I'm gonna go do my shroomies.
Yeah, I'm about to up my heroic. I'm about to go to 7 to 10 next.
Yeah, I'm gonna catch up to you with the heroic.
You probably gonna hop, skip, and jump right by me too, knowing you once you get a feel for it. But no, the more you take, like you can't really get poisoned by it unless you take your weight in the mushroom. You know what I'm saying? So, if you're 200 pounds, you gotta eat 200 pounds of shrooms. You ain't doing that. Shrooms come in grams, bro. So the more you take, it's not like the more dangerous it becomes. What happens is the deeper you go in and the more serious tone your experience becomes. Yep. You know what I'm saying? Like facing a real Black Panther in the jungle at night, and you got to use your night vision, but you don't know you got night vision, but you the shrooms, but you can't, so you turn your night vision on. That's the type of stuff you'll go through, It's real.
It was a time in Atlanta. I'm giving we this should sound like an NA meeting, but it was a time in Atlanta. I was at mom's house.
Okay.
And I was smoking some blueberry, nigga. This when the blueberry hit. Remember the nigga T had the blueberry in the jar?
Oh yeah. In the caddy.
I'm blowing the dro out the window, right? I get so high that every time that I exhale, remember we had the trees in front of the house?
Oh, the big oak trees.
We had lightning in them.
Mm-hmm.
Every time I exhale, the tree lit up with the lightning. Like I was controlling the shit.
Breathing, you inhale and exhale.
Google Nest. Yeah, it was. I felt like I was the Amazon Echo.
Now I see why they call it blueberry, because you was blued out.
I was blued out. But anyway, like we were saying, Shasta Medicine, hit us up for more information.
Because this is in Washington, right?
This is in California. What?
This is North California, Northern California.
Oregon, North Carolina.
So
Sacred Ground.
I was reiterating this point is because that's one of the main areas in the States where shrooms grow. They grow stupid out there. Medicinal and otherwise, a lot of edible joints, you know what I'm saying? So I think y'all gonna have somebody there who's gonna actually be able to point out
what everything is. Yeah.
Everything is. So listen, y'all always talk about how great we are and what we have to offer, and y'all want to support. Look, we got this screen in front of us now where we don't have the same situations where we go to venues and meet people face to face and get to know their energy, their aura, and their feel. You know what I'm saying? You don't really get to feel nobody. So when events get created and when retreats are made or a situation like this where you able to get with the pillars in a healing, zenful environment where you able to really connect with nature and yourself and get to know them and other people, y'all got to jump on that. Y'all got to jump on it. They, you know, I did these 4 retreats. It's not easy, bro.
It's not.
It's not easy putting it together, organizing it, being responsible for a number of people, giving them a great experience, helping them out, making sure that they get what they paid for, what they invested in. That's work. So the mere fact that they're taking this on to do for y'all, you know what I'm saying? Respond, you know, you tell them how great they are, show them how great they are, show up. Show up.
That's fact. Facts, you know. Shout out to Blue Pill with the hemp. He's making.
Oh yeah, he's big hemping right now.
He's big hemping right now.
Hemping right.
Smoke and Grow Rich tours. Shout out to all of my brothers and sisters that are tapping into the legal marijuana game.
Yes.
Shout out to everybody that got everything from CBD contacts to CBD breath mints. CBD condoms, you know, CBD everything.
It ain't CB4, it's CBD.
Yeah, shout out to all the way from CB4.
CBD, where you at? CBD, where you at? CBD. Come on, man. They got a little cash. Come on, man.
They got Samuel Jackson coming out looking like
Yo, did you see the Spiral trailer?
I just said that. I said Chris Rock is
it like paused or something, so I didn't get to hear that part. But nah, that thing is crazy. It threw me for a loop because I didn't know what the trailer was for. And
I was just watching 7 the other day.
Huh?
I was just watching 7 where they said the head in the box.
Uh-huh.
So in the trailer, they recreating the 7th thing. I'm like, what is these niggas clowning or something? You know what I'm saying? Like,
I thought it was supposed to be a comedy until the trailer was over, and I was like, they for real with this.
That nigga was tied up like Pookie at the end of the trailer again.
Bro, that was the same as the first Saw from what I hear. I ain't never seen none of the Saws, but I know a cat got chained to the pipe and he had to saw his arm off. So,
yeah.
Come on, bro. They can't say like Saw 35, so that's why they turn it into Spiral.
The Spiral. I'm just saying, like, they couldn't get nobody else, my nigga. Kevin Hart wasn't available.
Kevin Hart got other people to answer to these days, as we see on the Netflix special.
Oh man,
that totally didn't go how I thought.
That was the break Kevin Hart back special right there.
Like
everything.
What? He didn't even show what happened. That's what's so deep. They just fast forwarded and thrown people on, and all of a sudden,
it was the controversy. Then they said 6 months later, and his whiz was looking like she just had a wrestling match with Ronda Rousey. She was looking wild stressed. Her edges was on the run eating. I'm like, damn, what they did to the family, fam. And this wasn't even a car crash. Mind you, he's about to traumatize us with
the car crash, bro.
How the gay mafia cut his brakes or something and had his ass crash the car. They be up to the
you can't take off the dress, bro. That's what it is. Once you put on the dress, there's no taking that dress. Why you think Chappelle went to Africa?
He had to run from these niggas. He had to run from Harvey Weinstein and them.
Do you guys what I'm saying? Oh, you mean
Weinstein?
You talking about the Bushmaster?
Octopussy.
Bro, that article is terrible, bro.
Oh, shit.
That is a nightmare, bro. I was like, yo.
And for the family who don't know, they said that Harvey Weinstein is on trial for rape, and the woman said that he had a JJ, man. He said he had no testicles in what appeared to be a vagina.
Yeah, like it was just folds and stuff, I guess.
A big grown man right here we're talking about.
Did you hear about the needle in the trash can though?
Nah, what?
Bloody needle? Oh, you didn't read that part.
What's that?
When she went in the bathroom after him, there was a bloody needle with like a medication thing on it in the trash can. So he was shooting his stuff up. I didn't even know they had injections, bro.
Oh, damn. Like,
this man got adrenochrome for that.
He's shooting adrenochrome in his booty or something. Yo, these people is demonic, y'all.
Listen, bro, we got more than enough resources to do our
he didn't say anything about him having a box, a snapper. Lupita didn't say that. And she had an encounter with him.
Lupita had an encounter with Harvey?
Bro, go and Google Lupita.
Oh no, I didn't know that. I gotta watch that one. I got to hear what she say.
Lupita was in the bar with Harvey Weinstein and went to his room at 2:30 a.m. Talk black to me. Yeah. And I think this was the role that got her 12 years a slave. Or he invited her to the room after she got she was being rewarded and everything.
Oh,
yeah, it's sad out here, man.
Lupita. Yeah, I gotta check that video out.
Sisters, I know all of y'all are ready for Black Hollywood. All of my sisters out here ready to reprise Diane Carroll's role and whatnot and be the next Lena Horne. All I'm saying is y'all should just get with us because we building up Godlywood. You know what I'm talking about? And yeah. And don't cast your pearls on the casting couch. Because if you try to go to Hollywood and become the next Kim Kardashian, you know, chances are you know these people are not finished taking advantage of our women because they know that our women, you know, are unprotected, you know, and they understand that, you know, they perfected the predator game. They started it on a plantation and they perfected it to this point where they understand the psychology behind the haves and the have-nots. And then they have the psychology behind how to break a woman, you know, when you don't even know that you're getting taken advantage of. Like, don't, you know, you can't go into Hollywood unless you have a full clip of knowledge, first and foremost, to protect yourself.
It's an energy that you have to understand that you're succumbing yourself to. You might think, oh man, yeah, just one little ride real quick and I'll get what I want. It don't work like that. You're getting an energy put in you, and you're getting a part of you that will never return.
That's a fact.
Because for that thing to exist in you, it has to take the space of something that's already there. And you'll give yourself up little by little until there's hardly any of you left.
Pieces
and
of
you don't
every appointment, pieces of yourself. And y'all gonna come to us, but you're gonna come to us to get an ayahuasca 40 ounce.
Not the ayahuasca 40. That's gonna be the future. Folks gonna just hitting them in Theos, man. That's where the opioid crisis comes from. You know what I'm saying? That's what it is right now, is because people are starving for the entheogenes and just at sunlight. You know what I mean? Between them two, yeah, folks are suffering.
So with that being said, I just want to plug this coming at me to join me, y'all. I am going to have another installment of this monumental series entitled Fear of a Black Messiah. It's that time, y'all. It's that time. It's that time. It's that time. Fear is in the air. You could smell it everywhere. You know what I'm talking about? This year has started off to a bumpy start. And we already just in February, and I already got a full clip to give you. We're gonna talk about the the Trump thing. We're gonna talk about the civil war that they got going. We're gonna talk about the trade wars, coronavirus, the anti-Semitism thing, the anti-Hebrew Israelite thing. All of these earthquakes. Australia is being turned upside down, I think, by the ancestors. So, meaning that you don't have to leave your home. You don't have to leave the comforts of your home, or you don't have to leave the comforts of your loved ones, your family, or anything. You don't even have to be on time to watch the lecture live if that's not what you want to do, because it will be video on demand afterwards. It will be a full presentation, similar to how you see my brother and I sharing the screen and breaking things down. We will have all of the family in the building, all of my Patreons. No matter what tier that you are on, I'm going to be giving out a gift to you, and everyone that is my Patreon, you will be here for free. All of my past supporters who watched all of our live streams and belong to the Know the Ledge family, even my Facts 2020 family, you'll have a discount as well. This information is imperative. I need you to get it. We're going to get into some slavery talk because this is Black History Month, and I've uncovered some powerful information. Some of it I'm going to share tomorrow with our brother, to my special guest on Third Eye Thursday. And yeah, we're going to get into it. It's got a lot more to talk about. I'm just giving you a preview. So Cash App $20 in your email to PhilMoreland, or go to the Eventbrite link that's in the description, and it will take you right to the thing. Let me see. Is this the screen right here? Can you see the screen?
What? Fear of the Black Messiah?
Hold on, let me move this.
And Cash App.
Let's see something. Did it pop up?
No, it's the Detroit psychedelic conference is up. I think I might need to close my screen out too.
We got something real quick. This is the page on Eventbrite. Check it out. You could go ahead and look up fear www.yearoffear.eventbrite.com, and that'll take you right to the page. www.yearoffear, and then we're going to get into it tomorrow. I guess that'll be the last time I have to promote it, and then we'll be jumping off on Sunday, February 9th, 8 p.m. to 12 a.m. Know the Ledge Media presents Fear of a Black Messiah 2020 Year of Fear. We will start the new decade with news and information to prepare your minds for the rest of the year to come. Our series have been spot on and extremely successful in our predictions and accuracy in our narrative concerning political, social, metaphysical, and mystical occurrences affecting our people, the Blackamoors. So tap in if you want to get this information. I got it for you. You know what I mean? You know I got it. So with that being said, we got other things coming up, but we'll focus on that. So with that being said, is there anything else that you want to leave them with?
Once again, go to Mama Pill's site, support her, check her out, greenleaf-herbs.com. My website is ktthearchdegree.net. That is also my Instagram, ktthearchdegree, YouTube, and Patreon. Other than that, I know I don't have anything coming up. I just know I got the psychedelic conference coming up in August 7th through 9th. You can go to this Detroit psychedelicconference.com.
Yes.
And that is where you have information on the conference, so you can start getting some in-depth information on the entheogens we've been talking about. Other than that, that's about it right now. It's about it right now. I give a shout out to Mr. G real quick. If y'all ain't got that My Journey with Dr. Sabi book, you need to check that out.
Shout out
to baby4.com is the website for that. Yeah, I think that's it. I think that's it right now, son.
Yes, indeed. I'll see y'all tomorrow night. You know, like I said, hit the Cash App. All of the supporters, leave a tip at the table. You know, we've been starting this weekly cycle, and I love it. You know, I want to dedicate every day to be online, at least maybe even twice a day. We have a new channel that we're about to put out called KTL Empowerment. It's different than Know the Ledge Media. It's going to be dealing with strictly money talk, no controversy, you know, nothing to violate what they call the YouTube guidelines. We're just going to keep it strictly business and entrepreneurial, motivational. This channel will be for children who are being homeschooled. It will be for young students. It will be for college students, and then also adults of all ages. You know, and it's going to stick with empowerment, because that is something that I've noticed that the people really, really, really are gravitating towards. They want their power back, and we want to give it to you. So tonight was an empowerment, a journey to empowerment, dealing with the information that this brother has, dealing with healing and the herbs, which is the number one. Remember, the number one. Health is number one. Okay, it's not just wealth. Health is number one above anything. You could be dead broke rubbing pennies together.
They don't say wealth is health.
They don't say wealth is health. They say health is wealth.
Yes.
If you have clear urine and you rubbing two nickels together, you are with $5 billion who can't take a poop. You understand? You know. So
nickel and dime.
Yeah. Focus on the health. Focus on this machine right here, this vehicle. Because when this breaks down, when this Pinto, you better build this ship to be a ghost and a wraith. Don't be a Range Rover 4.0. You know how them things is always breaking down. You want to be durable. That's right. You want to be a UFO. Be something that's defying gravity, because you want to right here to function and to be able to tap into everything that the earth is trying to give it. You want this avatar to be in touch with the magnetic fields and whatnot in the ionosphere, so it could function properly like a Tesla. You want this shit. So with that being said, you got the brother KT's website. There's a Cash App right there. Shout out to Blue Pillar. All right, we'll see him next week. Tough Talk Tuesday. Go back in the archives. Subscribe to this channel.
But he's
archives and
he's what is this on Saturday or Sunday? The hemp joint he was talking about.
I believe it's Saturday.
Yeah, I think he said it was the road. But go to his Instagram. I'm assuming he got a flyer or poster up with the information there, or you could at least inbox him. You know.
Let me go right real quick. I'm gonna pull it up.
Yeah. Those folks are in the A and they wanna check Blue Pill out and what he got going on this weekend, because he's the only one guy.
You know how many for the technology to catch up to where my mind was at?
Yeah,
interesting.
When you get on them entheogens, you find out what the real technology is, boy.
Oh, for sure. Boy. I already know. This is my first something right here.
Boy.
I already know. Look how that works. The minute I opened it up, it pulled up.
Boom.
Jesus, take the whale. Hold on.
Shower.
Hold on. Shower. Oh, let's go. There we go.
There it is. All right. So yeah, this is Blue Pill's Cannabis Industry Business Summit. Do you want to learn how to capitalize on the booming cannabis and CBD industry? February 8th. So yeah, that's Saturday. Yeah, so it is Doubletree Hotel, 4156 La Vista Road. 4156 La Vista. La Vista.
La Vista.
So yeah, holla at your boy. Now you know what's special about this day.
Yes.
Yeah, that's Grandpa Day.
Grandpa, yes, Rising Power, Grandpa Lloyd.
Grandpa Day. I wonder if Blue know. We're gonna have to let him know. He might have to give him some words while he there.
That's a super fact.
You know, that's Aquarian power.
We didn't finish our 10-year going down a 10-year rabbit hole.
We didn't go all the way down.
Left Eye Lopez.
Yeah, we didn't even get there. That's a show itself, bro.
Oh yeah.
That's a show itself. We're gonna have to do Lisa, and then we might talk about Badu too.
Yes.
We could do some Erykah Badu talk as well. You know what I'm saying? We could say that for its own show.
Lisa Left Eye Lopez, Erykah Badu, and from SWV. It was go in the distance.
I got a thing for R&B queens. What can I say, man?
Legend. I thought, you know what I'm saying? I was running around here bragging about running with Bahamadia back in the days. But
wow, man.
I had Melba Moore on my line, but look at you.
Hey, man, I'm just blessed. I'm thankful. I'm grateful, and they're just beautiful women, man. Great women, strong women. You know, learn a lot, still learn.
Hey, I would love to meet her one day. It would be great.
Oh yeah. Well, you know, Lisa, that's only gonna happen with shrooms right now.
No,
she decided to check out a little early.
That ride one day when you were going to the mansion.
What's that?
Did I miss the ride one day? I think it was one day I was supposed to go with you to meet Lisa, and I might have missed the ride or something. What happened with?
Maybe I can't remember. You said the mansion. She just had a nice big house.
I mean, it was the mansion.
Stevenson High School.
I talked about you on my show before.
Huh?
I talked about you on my show before. I said KT was balling, man. KT boy, him a hoopy.
Yeah, man. She
was plugged into Lisa.
She bought me an MP. See, I ain't about to. Like I said, we gotta do another show, bro. I got stories.
I know. We gotta go back in time. We should do a show on shrooms and then just go back in time.
Yes, we could do that.
That'd be dope.
Call that the retrograde.
Yeah, I gotta get some of the clutter out of the way. I will have to tap into something.
Because Wednesday is Mercury anyway. We'll do a Wednesday retrograde.
Just smoke an ounce or something, and not a heroic dose, a micro dose.
Micro dosing.
Micro dose. But yeah, family, it's late. Except you, if you're on the West Coast. You know,
man, y'all got me all blue lit up, man. I gotta go.
All of the blue lights is on it.
I gotta go get all these lights up off me.
You gotta have to roll around.
Having me, Red. I appreciate you. Appreciate the platform as always. All y'all been doing for all these years, man. It's crazy. The consistency and the relevancy, and you know where y'all at today, man. I'm proud of both of y'all, and I'm grateful.
Oh my guy, right there, Knowledge Born a lot.
Knowledge Born in the building.
They want to know when you're gonna be doing the movies again.
I want to know why both of y'all got my name in y'all channels. UKTL, and then he's DTK. What's going on, bro? I need to get a check.
When you look,
I told everybody that Hollywood Decoded is coming this upcoming fall and because
we need a binge series of Hollywood Decoded.
We're doing Dune, and we're doing Eternals. They coming, so I'm ready for them. But I'm definitely gonna do some TV shows and stuff though. I could come on here and do something, that's for sure. I know you want to do Watchmen. I know you want to talk.
You know what? I know somebody in Tyler Perry's camp named Skylar Perry. I'm gonna hit on the inbox. It might be Tyler Perry with a fake account.
Yo, we need to end this right now, bro. This is bad. You got Skylar Perry.
But I would love for you to. Skylar, she been in my inbox, but I would love for you to do a Decoded, like on a movie studio type of ting. You know what I mean? Like at this point, this is what you do. but you know, it's all good.
Now we got a few things to talk about. Oh, last thing I'll tell everybody to check out on Netflix, Night on Earth. You got to see that with Amir.
Okay, Night on Earth.
On Earth, where they got the new cameras that could see at nighttime.
Oh.
It looks like it's day. They turned that looks like daytime, bro. And they show the cheetahs, bro. Animals don't sleep, bro. Animals
hungry.
They up. The cheetahs is up 2 a.m. chasing down gazelles. Gazelles eating grazing grass. They got the star. It looked like when he took the shrooms and went to see. I mean, the heart-shaped herb, and he went to see his dad on the other side. Mm-hmm. Remember how it looked?
Yeah,
that's what the show looked like with them cameras, bro. It's crazy.
I'm gonna check that out.
Yeah, Amir will love that show, bro. Tell him about that one.
I'm gonna check that out.
KT got something for you.
That's what it is. On that note,
y'all, man, love and light. Peace.
Peace. Pretty at.